That was the main comment. Minutes from the January meeting showing that the Fed staff saw risk to the economy and forecasts skewed to the downside going forward. So remember, we haven't had projections, for economic projections from the Fed, and we won't get those until March coming up once again. So we'll keep an eye on the overall market here. Just keep in mind, I'll keep skipping through some of these. Just keep in mind, again, Fed minutes from the last meeting just coming across here. If your positions are moving around, that's probably why. I was watching the dollar back to the upside ever so slightly here, just broke back through 104.07 for the DXY on these minutes just coming through. Latest comment here, Fed policymakers noted risk of easing too quickly, emphasized the importance of incoming data and judging if inflation is moving sustainably back towards 2%. Again, risk in moving too quickly downside, so on the cut side of things. ARM back to the upside, some announcements coming through today with Intel for ARM and also on their design going forward. So 2% for ARM back higher. Overall market downside right now off of these Fed minutes. Again, the headline there indicating that the Fed's still concerned about maybe cutting sooner than later and influencing things on the inflation side to go back to the upside. You did see there is a little bit of positivity in tech coming from Google, still green on the day. NVIDIA, the one with the spotlight around it today, heading into earnings after the close tonight. We're trying to hold session lows here for the market currently. Boeing with that headline, if you missed it during the midday, the head of the 737 program, he's gone. New one, I didn't even see a name of a new one, maybe to be announced, but 737 MAX head at Boeing is out. If you missed it for Intel as well, they had that event right at 11 o'clock this morning. Satya Nadella from Microsoft coming out saying Intel will continue to make chips for them. They also launched this AI-based foundry program. So a bunch of things for Intel to talk about coming up here. Just hearing more headlines coming across here for the Fed minutes. Staff economic outlook was slightly stronger than the December projection. So that's just a, I guess, internal discussion for the Fed on that last meeting. But remember, we'll get the next projections and the next dot plot coming up in March. So the reaction here to the downside so far, guys.
Yeah, the reaction to the downside. There's no one on Intel until like NVIDIA, until they're making NVIDIA's chips, and I'm talking about stealing TSM's business. They're going to be in a little bit of trouble. But just a few things. The market made a move to the downside. Intel is trying to bounce off 43 even. I'm going to try and trail this one. PANW is holding on for dear life at 266. And when I say holding on for dear life, it has been bouncing off this level the entire time. ARM is testing 125. I mean, it's just like there's so much moving, and I haven't made a single NVIDIA trade, and I don't think I will make an NVIDIA trade this afternoon. There's a lot giving you good opportunities without having to be in that one thing that everyone is waiting around for. And if you're waiting around for NVIDIA, then you're wasting opportunities in the market. It's down 3%, but it won't be up or down 3% tomorrow. I think that's pretty much obvious at this point. But it is trend down, and when the floodgates broke, it has been holding lower. I liked Intel because after their event finished, it essentially did a flat bottom break. So I'm going to be sticking to that one, and I've been in ARM twice, although that is in a different way. I find it surprising because if we're grouping stocks in the, let's call it value bucket for PE, in the chip names, if you're talking about the higher end of that, ARM is in a bit of a bucket with NVIDIA and some of the others that are high priced, but their float is small. And you gotta worry about that small float. I do think when March 12th comes, SoftBank is going to be running for the hills. But I've been short this top. The first time was great, and I've gone back to the well. I just got some at 124, and it's about to take out the high. Every time it works, it goes right back and takes out a fresh high. But this is moving. Intel's moving. I'd say AMD is more of an inside day, even though it had that one breakdown at 680.
All right, what's up, everybody? Hey, yeah, we're short ARM, man. We've been short ARM for a minute here. We'll wait for NVIDIA. Remember what this morning when It came over to me and asked about NVIDIA, and I said no, just one word, no. So we haven't traded it yet today. We knew we wouldn't. We're going to just continue to trade ARM, although it hasn't been that great, waiting to see if there's some kind of movement on ARM. PANW is what we've been going on. This is going to be, I mean, if it breaks, it won't be my #1 stock, but look, I mean, we've had some huge buys. We were long earlier. We talked about breaking that 270. That didn't really work out, but now PAN, whole bunch of, this is what I was trying to tell these guys on the midday. I was like, just buy PANW down here at 266. It's given a lot of trades there, and then ARM as well short, but ARM could get busted very, very soon. So we'll watch out for ARM, but as we go, PANW is more exciting for me. Watch out for ARM. We're gonna try to get a piece out here now, 125, but if we break that 50, we're gone on ARM.
Just seeing Fed fund futures still now pointing towards June for the first cut coming off these Fed meeting minutes. I mean, I just read through them all. Nothing that we haven't heard before. A couple of things that stand out here. Fed staff characterized U.S. financial system vulnerabilities as notable still. I remember that being basically gone in the last meeting, pointing towards the banking system. Policymakers saying slowing pace of the balance sheet runoff could also continue after cuts begin, which I don't think we've heard before. So the US dollar is kind of wild right now. There was a big spike downside when some more of that information was digested, but here we go, right back up, so just be aware. For the overall market, let's talk, Boeing back downside as well. We were talking about Amazon this morning going into the Dow. There was a few other analyst notes that came out surrounding that. Really has, I mean, gapped to the upside this morning and held that. That was about it.
Yeah, Brendo, and too, the rates really went up, the yields went up after that 20-year auction at 1 o'clock as well. I was keeping my eye on the 5-year and the 2-year. But with respect to Amazon, they're getting added to the Dow Jones on the open of February 26th. It's replacing Boots, which has been in the Dow since 2018. We'll have to wait and see how they do. Says the company said the revision was prompted by Walmart's 3-for-1 stock split, resulting in lower index weighting for Walmart. That's a Dow Jones, which is owned by the S&P, saying one of the reasons that it chose to get Amazon in the Dow.
Just to confirm on that June note as well, we're still at 80%. When we were talking to Frank yesterday afternoon about this time, it was about 83%. So total of 80% now in favor of a cut for June at the first, guys.
Okay, middle of the year. I mean, it gives the market a little bit of certainty. I mean, there's something to be said there that I guess that would be good. Not to my, I kind of said on my breath there, yeah, you know, reverse split and you get your weighting cut in the Dow. Like that's just, like the whole price weighting doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense. Just one note. PANW making a nice little bounce here. I've range traded this the entire time, so pretty much every single time there's been a scalp trade of a couple of dollars, I've been taking it. So just trying to keep things relatively in the pocket here with PANWs. If it gets to, I have 67.30, I think I'm trying to get it out. Amazon was a dog for me today because I came in looking bullish. I came in looking for this to hold. Oh, first 167, which was nowhere in sight. So when I went for the long, it was off of, well, that's too far away. 67 was the previous close. I'll zoom back in so this makes a little more sense. And then the breakout was at 69, so I went for the dip buy. First entry got wicked out. That's what happens when you take it on the way down. Jumped right back in on that initial hold, and then scaled it to 167. The reload, first bounce worked. Second reload did not work, so I took 3 swings at it. Could have kept it at 2, 100%, but didn't. Worth watching here. As if the market's going to receive this well, 168, like 70 and VWAP, like once, twice, now thrice. If it starts holding a bit above that, Amazon might have something. And I'm only saying this because look what just happened as we got the Fed minutes. Like you wicked the bottom, again, second time. Bond auction, you wicked the low. And then just now on the Fed minutes, you wicked the bottom. If we start breaking out and take 17.5, suddenly Amazon looks a little bit better than it's been throughout the day, because it's been a trend down. It had a breakout at the open, and then it's been trend down ever since. Finally starting to show some strength, but that's just because the market's going up after this.
Yeah, market, NVIDIA. So I did sell about 15% of my NVIDIA over lunch. It's trying to go upside. Okay, we just got a wicked fill there, man. We got 267.30 or so on PAN. So that was a monster for me. So we're doing much, much better now than we were before. PANW is going to be the #1 P&L name here today. So, you know, what was a bad trade earlier became a really good one. Yo, what's up, Randy? So Randy, tonight, Rivian and Lucid. If you could take a shot of which stock may be up or down tomorrow, where would we go with those?
I can't say much about Lucid. There's just been despair there for so long. Rivian, on the other hand, I've said this before, there's two numbers I want to see. That's cash burn and production numbers. They both got to be improvements over where we were a quarter ago. They have to inch forward.
Right.
They're a young company. They've got a lot of potential, a lot of promise, new model in the lineup. They've got to get this figured out and start the climb. So that's the tale.
I heard there's a rumor that Rivian might buy NVDA.
With spare change?
Pay them in a couple trucks.
Possibly.
No, NVIDIA's moving around right now. We also got NVIDIA earnings tonight too.
Ooh, that's a big one.
That's going to be a big one. So we're looking forward to that. Okay, we'll have you on tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit about those numbers as they hit. So I don't actually know any of the expected numbers that we're looking at. So we'll have to see tomorrow.
They're going to not make a profit. That's what it's.
Well,
with that we know. I mean,
cash burn is cash burn. It's how much they go through and how much they have left. That's the big thing to investors. So hopefully they're counting their pennies.
Yeah, and we just found out that we have to wait till June to get a rate cut. So might not help them, but some certainty's good. So watch out. Thanks very much, Randy. Lucid and Rivian aftermarket tonight. Decent short float in both names, double digits, I think. I think it's like 13% in Rivian, maybe 21 or 22 in Lucid. Gonna have to respect the price action there. As far as expectations go, like when they're not companies that make money, as Randy said, you've got to look to other metrics if that's what you're into. Like you can't worry about the EPS. Like it's not going to be positive. Like you want to see progress elsewhere. But let's get back to the desk because there were earnings last night, and all of them were the big three were actually bad, and the biggest of them all. Had a rough day, but I'm a buyer today.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to hear delivery numbers. I've seen a ton more Rivians, it seems, just in the past couple of weeks around here. So
Likewise.
They've definitely started getting them out the door on a little bit quicker pace. PANW earnings disgusting, downside in a huge way today. I wanted to show this because this is kind of interesting. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 analyst moves here this morning. One of them is negative.
Wow.
So, I mean, they were all reiterate or reaffirm positive. So, I mean, 8 of 9 ain't bad, even though it's down so much.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe it's down to the guide. Maybe they feel the expectations for the guide was a little too high. I mean, the street was looking for $10.7 to $10.8 billion in revenue for all of 2024. They didn't guide that much lower, 10.1 to about 10.2, and that's really why it sold off. They beat on both the top and bottom lines. When it came to the call, the CEO there basically said that the change in the guidance was due to a shift in strategy, basically wanting to accelerate growth and the platform migration and activating new AI leadership was what he said. So we'll have to wait and see how they do, Brendo, but yeah, tough luck.
Yeah, a bit of a slow bleed today, guys, for PANW.
Yeah, it's been bleeding to the downside. When you talk about a stock that has been as crazy a mover as this, and let's be real for a second. If you go back to the beginning of the year, it was at $280. If you go to the middle of last year, you were essentially breaking out. I think two bills, and there was a hold there in August at 200. So it's traveled a lot. Guidance. Unfortunately, if growth isn't what everyone's expecting, you're expecting the mid to high teens, and you get essentially like 10 to 12%. Then when you're a high valuation, you're going to get beat down. All that said, this is still a company that is making a lot of money and is at the top of a space. It's not going anywhere. So there's some buyers in here today off some of these lows. You didn't get to the 200 period moving average. I stank bidded in front of that in my personal account. But try to keep it tight to the vest. The first wick bottom for an SSR bounce was here when it held 270, then went 72 into 74, stopped, break even, did it again, 70 to 72, reload, stop under break even, and then the same thing when it got to 66, went long. It did this. It's a bad wick. It actually went to 269, and then all of the 66 longs. If it breaks 66, I'm out. So keeping the stops tight. Obviously, you could, if you just simply guess to short some of these pops or short VWAP, you'd be doing a heck of a lot better. But still a good name today. The dog for me, AMD and Amazon. Thankfully, both PANW and ARM will make up for them. That said, ARM has been a dog. The SSR bounce has bounced a couple of times and given you VWAP, but there hasn't been big follow through. So you're going to have to wait maybe a day or two, I think, for any bigger kinds of moves. Maybe it retests that 200 period on the daily. Maybe 266 ends up holding for a longer time here, but still under pressure, down 27%. Gave up the entire year and another 5%.
So like we just shorted again and made another 20 or 30 cents there on what are we supposed to talk about? PANW. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. We just got in and not out, but out of a piece of ARM right there again. So there's the short, there's the out at 125. Let's hold it in case it cracks a little bit. Everybody's favorite name, of course, is NVDA, and that's moving around. We just bounced off the 200 period, but there we go. PANW looking like it wants to be in a little bit of trouble here. Making that move back in one more time into 266. This is going to be mine. Well, Rivian's potentially my number one stock. We'll wait to see if this one can do it as well. Whoopsies, but we just got a great fill. All we've been doing is we went long on the VWAP break, or at that point it was 271.50. That was okay. It went back to the upside. Then we lost it right here when it broke basically through 270, and then we got out, but we did get back in, make money. The last couple of times, like these are 266 fills. These are 269 outs. So like $2, $3. This is why it's going to be the number one name, and hopefully it doesn't break. But if it does break below right now, then we're going to get out. PANW basically on the precipice of breaking through 266 right now. So, all right, looks like that is what's going to happen. My hands are off. We just got out at 267.25. So if we wind up losing with slippage, let's just say it breaks 266, maybe you get 70s or 80s, a little bit of slippage there. It will suck, which here it comes. But PANW at the lows of the day, down 30%. We talked about this on the market recap show. I bought a little bit into this morning, but you're going to see it's going to be like a 3-day rule on this one, especially if NVIDIA goes upside down tonight. You could see this name a lot lower tomorrow. So we'll wait, let some of the pressure get off, and then we'll go back over to PANW at some point. But for today, it's at the bottom of the day and looking like it's going to break 266 right now. So watch out. The slippage could be pretty big here on the way down.
All right, nice day for Chinese ADRs. Back to the upside here. We had a huge move for Alibaba out of the gate this morning. It's basically been consolidating ever since. 75.50 coming into play. A couple of new regulatory moves over in China announced overnight when it comes to short selling.
Yeah, more intervention here by the new Securities Regulator Commission head, Brendo, looking to crack down on the quantitative trading, the prop firms there, looking to crack down on short selling. So in case you're wondering what quant trading is, these guys use mathematical calculations to get long or short an equity. And there is one in specific that's being targeted by the regulator here for having irregular trades multiple times at that open between 9:30 to 9:31. That's helped push some of these names higher today, Brendo.
Yeah, nice look for all of these, really. I mean, it was very similar. They all kind of moved, and then it's just been sideways consolidation ever since.
Baba. So by the way, 66 just broke. The slippage was not bad. I got slipped to 73. We got the same fill. We're using the same stop order. But 66 broke. I got 73s out. So that's actually pretty reasonable for a $266 stock. And again, if you don't trade with stops, we've had this discussion before. Do you use hard stops? Do you use area stops? Some people would be like, I'll give it a little bit of room, give it like the extra $1. But if you're taking outs at 67 for that $1, then you want to make sure that you're getting out and limiting the damage into the downside. Alibaba, while not being that bad, it'll be a quarter of ARM. And then in PANW, like I'm down on Baba, just under half what I am up on say, PANW. But I traded one long, and to me, I'm most upset about Alibaba because in the morning mix, I said I like Alibaba breaking 75 even. There was never a chance to really dip by it at the price I liked, which was the 50 period on the daily. So there's the 50 period. It held the 50 period. It was gapping up because you have the Chinese government essentially saying they're going to crack down on short selling and basically boost their stock market, pump their own stock market. It broke 75 clean and went to 76. But I didn't have that order set at 9:30 because I wanted to wait, didn't want a 9:30 breakout trade. That ended up being the wrong decision. It pulled back into 75. I don't know if there's going to be much of a trade today, but it's in the afternoon, but it's worth watching. 76 has been the entire afternoon's resistance on Alibaba. So there might be something to trade up there. I talked about eventually NEO potentially breaking out, but NEO didn't break out today, so there's not really much to say about that. I'm still looking for that one to finish basing out and break higher. But BABA, it should have been a great clean breakout at 75. Just didn't want that order out. It was a conscious decision. That wasn't I forgot to do it. That was oh, I like it, but I'm not going to take it at 9:30 moment on BABA.
Yeah, we went long on VWAP off the open, and then we actually went short and made our money back. So we went long and lost, short and back, and flat on Alibaba today. I mean, it's been pretty disappointing. We had it on our sticky note, of course, as a long, but we didn't have it on here until, a little lower. We, it was 74 bucks. We were looking at 72 as a bottom. So maybe we would have started to buy at 73, but either way, it really got going early. So, hey, for me, that's good. Like, we nailed the price, we nailed the stock, we nailed the direction. It happened real early, and by the way, it's cash money time. We haven't spun this in a minute, but there it is, man. We've reloaded ARM again. So, boom, right now, what's been happening. Look at that. There it is. Okay, as you say, we are now. I'm reloaded. Are you, though? Let's see what's going to happen now with ARM to the downside. We definitely want to be holding this one and see how juicy this can get. So ARM with a pushback. Look at all those shorts at the top. Boom, 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 boom. So right there, man, we'll lock and load there on ARM. We just got 124.62, and we just reloaded it at 25. You can see our price. So let's see where this wants to go from here. Disappointed in PANW, which we just talked about, but it broke through that 66 and then just crashed into 264.65 there or so. So I feel like the momentum going short has been a little more dramatic. But anyways, I'm so happy we got that filler. That could have been dramatic. All right, let's see what happens here with ARM. Maybe NVIDIA falls, maybe it doesn't. But we'll just take out some profit there on ARM. So again, 25 cents worth of risk. We'll take 75 there and see if we can get more if we push even lower, bidding around 124.
TDOC was another one looking very similar to PANW. It's actually holding on for dear life here as we speak. 1520 was basically session lows. Coming off their earnings after the close yesterday, if I zoom out here, you can see. Yeah, we were at 2050 yesterday for this thing for TDOC. We'll see how much Kathy Wood buys when we show up tomorrow.
Yeah, it'd be a really good question, Brendo, because they missed on both the top and bottom line, and the guide was also really light here. They're guiding 2.64 to 2.74 billion. For 2024, the street was looking for 2.77. It should be noted 5 brokerages out of 27 have this as a buy, and 22 have it as a hold. So not really a glowing endorsement there, Brendo. But on the midday tomorrow, we're going to be talking about more terminology, more trading terminology. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about advanced trading concepts. So make sure, check out How to Trade with Adair and I tomorrow.
Yeah, it's been a very popular week. A lot of requests for explanation of trading terminology, so make sure you check that out tomorrow. I guess 1550 was really the last line in the sand here if you go out to a daily chart on TeleDoc. So that has come and gone, and then some, guys, for TDOC.
Well, maybe Aunt Kathy wasn't buying. The 52-week low is 1502 on TeleDoc, but as Brendan mentioned, 1550 was sort of, they call it consolidation support. But there is like that, there's like one day in October, that sounds like a bad movie. 1502 it did get to. I've had a couple of longs looking for the SSR short sell restricted bounce on TDOC. So I'll be down a little bit on it because I took 3 swings and really none of them completely worked. I mean, the last one actually was good. But the first 2, like I was 0 for 2 very quickly looking for the bounces on TDOC. And that was off the $16 level. And then when it made this double, actually eventually triple bottom here at 1525, it goes once, twice, I was even saying in the midday chat, I'm like, oh, triple bottom, and look at it hold after that down move. Decent volume uptick there through 30, but it couldn't get past 1550. So the best it bounced was like a 15 to 20 cent bounce. It's down 26%. Trifecta of names. What's crazy about it is actually Solar Edge is the one that did the best out of the trifecta of names that were down over almost like 20% today. Solar Edge is the one that held out the best. PANW and TDOC continuing to flush. If you see 1502, then we'll look for a 52-week bottom, but that's not the concern. I'm not really looking for a trade there unless it gets to 15 even. Thankfully, it'll be my top stock today, and my chart hates me now on ARM, but it is now
Kanye.
like twice on ARM, only twice. Everyone was asking in the chat, am I reloading it? I'm not, because I'm just going one and done. It's trending to the upside, it's putting in higher lows, but the 2 times that it's crested, let it crest on a 15-minute chart. It tested twice. We're able to get $3 that time. Again, look for the same pattern. Look for it to hold the top and then get in one time, looking for the pullback. And I want 122.5 as an out on the last leg here, but it just broke 124 even. Like I said, try to make sure your winners are good relative to your losers and find those key price levels. Like ARM, it might not make rational sense, but remember how small the float is. You know, SoftBank owns 90% of this and only put a small amount out into the market. That's why it moves the way it does.
All right, yeah, we're $2 right now. Let's fire off the hot dog hunt. We just talked about this just before Neil took the mic right there. We were short. We just talked about that short. So far here this afternoon, I'm listening to some Carnival with Kanye here, but it's a nice move back in, man. We just hit the 200 period moving average, man. Elon built a rocket ship. It's time to go home. But here we go. Nice move down into 122. Is that next? We shall see very, very soon. Let's go, ARM. Here we go, man. It is NVDA. We talked about selling some of that during lunchtime, but there it goes. Nice little move to the downside into 674, breaking through 668. Bye-bye, NVDA. Let's just go, man. I may be in nothing else. Come on, ARM. Bring the pain. We talked about trading during the midday and things like that. This is what we're talking about. Trade names that are moving around. Look at ARM. ARM with a downside push right now. Look at PANW giving you some wicked opportunities as well. Look at that break on PANW. Ciao, Bella. Look at Rivian right now as well. Nice little move to the downside right here. Boom. We called that one, but unfortunately we don't have it. Wow. This is a good one right here, man. Let's see. I honestly think chaos in ARM. Like if NVIDIA starts to break lower, which it's doing as we speak, NVIDIA looking to take out days low right now, but watch out for 122. I don't even have a bid anywhere. If we come back up here, like the fact that we just took $1.70 when we talked about 25 cents worth of risk, I mean, I hope we're all on the same page here. That was a good one. We'll see if we can get something back in again. Amazon, obviously, that was tough because I was still thinking long right there, but we should have shorted VWAP. Big mistake. Big mistake not doing that. But we already got hit on it once, Amazon. We'll get back into it. But for right now, we're just going to watch out for ARM. Hey, look, ARM could make the move all the way back. We just covered some at 123.50. Like, so that's, for me, we're really pretty happy with that. We only now have on about 35% or so of what we had initially. So just drip down into past support, into 124, take the profit there, then take the $1.50. You know, and let's see what happens here for ARM as NVIDIA trying to battle back. Maybe it is an AMD type of story instead of NVIDIA.
Well, I don't know. You know what? NVIDIA's low of the day is just, it's almost eerie, the fact that like we're looking at 666 breaking. I mean, I feel like that's poetic isn't the word, obviously. But if you take out that bottom, the NASDAQ just cracked and we're now 1% to the downside. Let's get to the futures here because we're through the rundown. The futures broke the low. I mean, yesterday's bottom had already come and gone, but the recent low just broke. And we're obviously reacting to some of the Fed minutes here and maybe the market not liking what they hear. And remember, the initial move after the bond auction was down. Like at 1 o'clock, it was a down wick, so you've got that working against us. So I'm thinking it can be a flush zone. If 666 goes, I don't think all bets are off as to what can happen. Intel's doing a bottoming pattern at 43.10. I'm in just that in ARM. If it breaks back above 43.30, I think I should be getting out anyways. But I'm now thinking, why not just be adding to this in the high 20s if I'm going to trail it anyways in the 30 range. So Intel's down 3%. Now remember, they had bad earnings already, so they might not. I have this weird feeling that it's not going to matter what happens on as much on NVIDIA's earnings for something like Intel that already had a bad quarter. It's like, okay, well, if NVIDIA does have a bad quarter and goes down, like who cares? Intel already had their bad quarter.
Yeah.
So in a weird way, I do feel like if it tries to make a bottom on NVIDIA earnings, I wouldn't mind trying longs, but that's for another day. Right now, I want to short the pops, give it to about 43.35, and play the bottom of this range because the futures look weak.
Yeah. It doesn't look like ARM wants to follow NVIDIA exactly, but we can look at NVIDIA just real quick right now. Man, I can't wait for vultures too. What, 668, 66, so we just, remember we were talking about it's coming crashing into the low of the day. I mean, that was a big move. Off the 200, off the 50, back in. We just touched 667.20, so we did come. We have the low of the day being 666. Wow. Trip 6, imagine that was trip 6 is 66. But no, for right now, so we have it trip 613. We just went to 667.20. So we are $1 away from breaking yourself back down to the downside. So we'll see, man, about all of that. One trade that's developing up. What'd she say? Right here, 190. Okay, so it's after the 200 period. The thing about this is I'm not sure if we want to go short or long on Tesla. That's the thing. Like, it's definitely a better long. It's only down 0.17 versus, I'll move this over, versus the NASDAQ down 1.10%. But you can see Tesla just trying to bounce 194, 195 coming into play right here for Tesla. That's probably a better short if you can wait for it because the stock is a little bit stronger. For me, I'm probably going to stick with ARM and then honestly, look to trade a little bit of NVIDIA into close, especially if it's going to look like this and have a good chance of breaking that bottom. I think let's just see what the market does, but this could be a really good break back down below 666 because if it breaks that, I think you can give it like $1 or $2 worth of room.
It's 666. Like how?
Yeah, so we're already short ARM, so I mean.
Traders, I just feel like sometimes like people get, what's the word I'm looking for? Superstitious, maybe?
Yeah.
Like a number like that in front of earnings breaking, I don't wonder if it is in the breakdown trade, but it's at 69 right now. It's 2:30. You have some time. It could be power hour that it happens. I want to mention a strong stock if we can for a minute because Nike's up 1.6%. So if the market holds these lows or if there is something to maybe sink your teeth into, this is one of the first dips they've had. There's an activist investor note, which is probably some of the reason it's holding some strength. I'm only pointing out the daily chart because the 200 period and the 50 period have been providing this band of resistance, which you don't necessarily have to worry about till it gets between 106 and 108. It's not quite at that 106 level. Maybe you get into VWAP, but have a look at this consolidation right here off the 105 before it made the last test. If it can hold 105 here, the big caveat would be the market stopping to flush, which it's not doing right now. But if that can happen, I would look for some longs off 5s. If the market doesn't hold on right here, then I think looking at VWAP on a strong name today. Nike, you can say whatever you want about the daily chart, but we're talking, the lesson of the day today was relative strength versus relative weakness. You look at the S&P and look at just about anything that isn't natural gas, and you're going to find weakness, but you're seeing some serious strength in Nike. I know Google had some relative strength as well, but this, having a great day, if you're looking for any kind of bullish trade that isn't, say, a small cap, Nike can be for you.
It can be for you.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Do it.
Okay, so here's NVIDIA's, by the way, 668. Let's go. As we are, of course, net short ARM. So we like that one. We just retweeted this one thanks to Dara. Analysts are forecasting NVIDIA's annual revenue to jump to a very, very paltry $110 billion, up from just $59 billion. I think that's actually reasonable. I mean, if they're doing $59 billion now, why not in 2 years if we're getting AI crazy bumps? The thing is that what they're going to predict? So if that's what analysts are forecasting, so we're going to have to get a full year guide number somewhere near. I mean, that's for 2026, but here's 2025. It's looking like, I don't know what this exact number is here. It's probably in the note. I just retweeted it. You can go find it. But, in and around 80, 90 billion. There, so, oops, well here, that makes you can see a little bit better. So right there, forecasting NVIDIA's annual revenue will jump to 110 billion by 2026. So we'll see what they're gonna come out with now, and then that's the full year 25. So what we're looking for is about, that looks to me close to 90 billion to me, right? Maybe 93 or something billion. So we'll see what their forecast is. You know what would be really fun if they didn't even drop a forecast at all? Then what are people going to trade with NVIDIA? Then you'll see this thing tank 35%.
Well, yeah, the market would read that as bad. That's how they roll.
That's why they shouldn't do it in the first place, but what are you going to do? And then we have right here too, here's ARM. So I'm short ARM right now. And if you guys go over, this is the kind of stuff that we're tweeting, 24/7. ARM's post-earnings surge has made it one of the most expensive stocks. So 40 times forward PS, more than double the most expensive stock in the S&P 500. More than double ARM right now. So again, you'll find all this. There's NVIDIA's right there, Eli Lilly, and a few other random names that maybe, well, we sort of service now in Visa and all that, but FICO.
The surprising name there.
Anyway, there it is right there. I'll retweet that for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, obviously FICO, but the surprising names there. I mean, to some people might be the credit card names, but you can't, we said this before, you need to, when you're trading, separate the type of stock that you're in. Because ARM is not, it's not even NVIDIA, it's more in common with SMCI in terms of its price action in that it's a squeeze. It's not a short squeeze, it's a float squeeze. And come March 12th, SoftBank is going to be eager to sell shares. One note, there had been some, was it TSM selling their entire stake? I believe.
Yeah, you said that this morning.
So
yeah.
it's a couple. We said this morning. You said that this morning, and then I was mentioning ASML. So Sean was mentioning.
No, you said I didn't hear the TSM story. Maybe it was one of those
Brendan.
guys.
Okay, so maybe Brendan or Sharif said this. TSM selling their stake. Samsung has sold their entire stake in ASML, which is a fantastic company, by the way. Okay, so there is some selling going on in this chip space, which is getting a little bit heated. We've mentioned AMD without really talking about it. AMD has been a dog for me. Oh, it'd be nice if AMD printed 176 today if you were long. But for AMD, I made the top wick on AMD like twice. And that's why I'm in Intel and ARM, because it's weird. ARM's been a stronger stock than AMD, but I've managed to get in and make the top. I had a good short into 163 off 164 change, then made a top wick on a couple of reloads, then went into it again on the front side and got stopped there. But the key is both those times were on the front side of the trade, where the difference was I let sort of ARM come to me here, let it get into that top and make the top, and that's the difference. And as far as Intel goes, I just tried to grab a reload at 43.30 off these bottoms because I'm trying to get the consolidation low, and if it breaks 43, you've got room. That's all I gotta say. You got room. You got some room to the downside. Since earnings, the low is 42.30 after earnings. I'm not saying it gets there, but that's where I expect the bid to be. Like, I'm not even thinking long until this thing is at $42.30 on Intel. As I said, their earnings were already bad. Don't even worry about NVIDIA. They already had a bad Q.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh, Meta's going.
ARM breaking back down below 124 again. So I was kind of turned up, about this idea right here. I'm like really close to wanting to go long here on Amazon. But my opinion of tonight is affecting me. I do not want to go long anything right now. We're short, we're printing on ARM. And honestly, I'm a little bit mad that I didn't punch 60 short on Amazon. So I tried to get 55s, it went to the down. So I have pending orders right now. I have a 59. So it broke 60, I debated it. I offered 59, it didn't come back. So then I offered 55. I mean, honestly, 5 cents, I could just take it. I mean, I could just take a small piece now, but I'm watching NVIDIA go down right now, and it's like, this is kind of what I thought would happen. But, ARM is still hovering. Like, we already had a great, these are all shorts, by the way. You can tweet these out too. These have been good shorts. But ARM trying to get to the downside. What's Palo Alto doing? Wow, Palo Alto, by the way, slappy slap right now as there it goes down into the downside right now for Palo Alto. Looks like the 3-day rule may just be that rule that you're looking for. And you know what? This is what I was saying before. And I said this on the midday show, and I said it in the chat. And obviously when I say something, I'm going to mean it. It's like there's always something to trade. I don't, like, if you're looking in the right direction, like PANW could either, you could either come here on the show and be like, oh man, this has been a disaster, it's only going down. But it's because I'm looking long. If you're looking short here on PANW today, look at these trades. Short off VWAP, short off VWAP, short off the 200, short off the 200 again. There's so many trades. It's like ARM, it's the same kind of way. Oh, ARM hasn't been that good. Yeah, right. ARM's been fantastic, but you have to wait. And sometimes these levels will be there and it'll be fantastic. And sometimes, you know, like in the morning when I was telling you ARM was the worst stock for me, yeah, I just like, you know, there's really no levels here. We're shorting it against 122. Once it broke, we should have been out. We went short again. We made a little bit back and then it broke higher. But then we got with some confidence to break back down. When a stock breaks lower, it's great to take shares, but you have to have that defined out. So when you have the out, it makes it a lot more comfortable. So that's the one thing there about trading that if I could teach anybody something, it's risk management. It's about being comfortable in your trade, understanding where the money comes from and where it doesn't, and then loading up on ideas. And I'm telling you, this is what's been working for all the guys in the back. Loading up on ideas that you believe in. And not like just saying, you know what, I hope this works out. We lost on Amazon today, punching that 170 long. But when I look back, I'll take that kind of hit every day, considering the upside that we could have had. So let's see what happens here with ARM. We like the short. We've been talking about it. So I don't have any bids on ARM. I don't. So watch out for NVIDIA. If this takes the low of the day, man, that's what we're talking about. This is what we're here for. Amazon right now, we do get that fill at 45. You know, it just went down to 28 right there. Let's see if Amazon wants to continue to bleed. I'm a little bit, like I said, I should have been short earlier. We're not. It's all good. Let's see what happens here. If we touch 167, which was initially our sticky note level, then we'll bid this out. So let's just do that. We'll see if we can get a little bit of a runner here for Amazon. And if it comes back to 168, then we could short it up there. You know, a little frustrated that we don't have the best price, but on a day like today, ooh, I see you're on our favorite stock as well.
Well, a missed opportunity on a firm.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get to the super chat in a quick second. Appreciate you, Nate. But like I'm now I'm trying to rectify the mistake on a firm here because this was, and we've said this when the firm has been trending down, yada yada yada. Firm going down 5% today, but it broke out. I was shorting VWAP. It broke out off of VWAP, and I just sort of sat it out while it calmed the you know what down and resumed the trend. So once it resumed the trend, it then I got the first available curl. Well, it made another one just now at 1 just before we came on air. And I will sort of focus on the chip names that we're in. But if it gets back to VWAP, I am still looking to be short this one here. And there was, appreciate the super chat there, Nate Downen. When you say NVIDIA down, you expected it. I am new, so what? With earnings projected to be good and so many mixed comments, just a guessing game on earnings? Well, there's a difference between the stock reacting to earnings and the actual earnings themselves. I actually don't think the earnings will be bad necessarily, but it's a reaction to the earnings that end up mattering. At the end of the day, there's no such, you hear this term said, there's no such thing as good earnings or bad earnings. There's just earnings and how the market responds to it. SolarEdge did not have a good quarter. SolarEdge's guidance, if you just look at the raw numbers, was worse than PANW's. But SolarEdge, which was down 20%, is having, like, it was at its lows. The stock in the last year and a half is cut in like, I don't know, what is it, like 20%? I mean, it was up in like the 360s and was down trading around $80. So it's like, it's a nasty move down and it's bouncing off that. PANW is worse, despite the fact that the quarter was technically better if you were to look at the raw numbers, because PANW was at all-time highs. And that's it. So it comes down to the reaction sometimes. I think that's what people are saying with regards to NVIDIA, is it's like expectations get so high, markets at these highs, and you're looking for some correction, and it would have to be so perfect and such a big blowout to be able to make hay. And I understand SolarEdge is down 11%, but look at the difference in reaction today for SolarEdge and PANW. And you cannot even just look at the bare bones of the guidance. Like they guided here, SolarEdge did, at 175 million to 200 in revenue. The street was expecting 400. Like that's a humongous miss, but they got punished, and it's a relief rally because the expectations were a heck of a lot lower than PANW. Hopefully that makes sense to you there, Nate. So, as a trader, you're really just looking, hopefully, to react to moves and price action. That's what I'm doing here with the firm. Nothing fundamental. I'm just trying to get the offer here in front of 36.5. There has not been a pop in Intel to even think about shorting, but NVIDIA is starting to creep lower and lower. I'm going to look for another name that we can maybe go to, because AMD is creeping underneath VWAP itself and starting to stair step to the downside. Trend is getting a little heavy. We might see, it feels like we could have one of those, hey, we're pressing 1.5 to 2% down days, which is weird because at one point you kind of felt like there would be more sideways, and then NVIDIA started really giving up that ghost. But I see Amazon starting to flush. You got to be able to switch it up. I mean, I came in the same way as you, liking Amazon. I still like Amazon.
Yeah.
And the down news, getting added to the index is never bad news, but the market's reacting to it poorly for Amazon. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, the market's down 1.29. I feel that Amazon being up is kind of a blessing, to be honest with you. Okay, so here we go. But yeah, I mean, let's see if it can hold. I'm not sure it can hold. So there it is, man. We take the short, and there it is right there. We'll floss it off just a little bit. For anybody that wants it, there you go. That's 30 cents for you on Amazon if you so want it. I want to get more shares, so we're not going to get out. ARM continues to crack. I mean, we were just at 125, and we were talking about not getting out. Now it's down to 123.50. Let's see where we go, man. It's trying to go lower. Everybody, I told you I trimmed about 15% of my swing account on NVIDIA. I still hold the whole damn thing long in my RRSP account. I was telling you guys stories about me punching this thing long at $100 and being like, I'm not sure this is the right trade. But, NVIDIA now, we'll wait to see what it does here at the bottom of the day, where I think it wants to go. I'm wondering about putting a little bit of a stop order because, what if we do that move again? And then this time we continue to go to the upside, because we could be, I'm not trying to predict NVIDIA's earnings. I just think that we could go to the downside. So that's why I was trying to hold on to PAN, but PAN we've already, what's up to Eric, man? So we're only we're going to be up on PANW and on Rivian, and I'll talk about those. And then BABA, not on Amazon or ARM. But we're going to wait to see what happens here on ARM, coming right back in down through. I mean, if ARM, everything, we're holding a pending position on ARM. So that's going to be something. But what about just a 123.70? Should we just take another fill here and then try to see? But that's what I'm kind of battling with right now, is to see if that is the case. Rivian, I think, is going to be a nightmare report at some point there tonight. But the market's not giving you too much, other than the fact that we wrote down here short $16 early on, and that's exactly what we had. So we had the short at 16.10. This is the high of the day on Rivian. This is an NFT. I just wish we didn't have any of this in here, where we were getting out at VWAP, getting out at the 50, getting out at the 200, then getting out at the at the low of the day. At that point, so we wind up taking 30 cents, which would have been an 86, 70 cent banger. But again, to be holding something and predicting something is completely a completely different situation. So thanks, Nate. Thanks all, and Neil. Got last name right. You the man. So isn't it just Downin?
Downin? Okay.
All right.
I mean, look, you've heard me, but I've butchered names before in the chat. We do our best, and I never mind getting corrected. You just say, "Hey, man, you got my name wrong," or I'll never forget some of the individual stock companies that we would just say the name of the company wrong. Now you got ChatGPT, so you never make that mistake again, or whichever one you have. And maybe use Gemini, but I just trailed out of ARM. I was about to say this. Chart. So double bottom here. I'm missing a bit of data, but that's fine. You can actually see it from when I started trading it. But a bit of a double bottom here, 123.50. And I said that as I was in this trade. It bounced off 123.50. I want to look for the exit. because it's already done it a couple times at a consolidation off of that level. So I'm now out of it, and it's been relatively strong. I think it's a potential squeeze name if the market wants to try to make a low. So I'm going to take the money and run on ARM here. There was one more thing I wanted to get to. Oh yeah, if you're keeping an eye on treasuries, some wild moves there. It's worth noting, like TLT is just chilling at the lows. I mean, chilling out at the lows. Remember, like it was the initial reaction to the bond auction. That's why the markets feel a little bit heavy. I'll be watching this to see what it does at some resistance here. Maybe like if it gets up to like 92.3, back where it bounced after the auction, that could be a good spot for the markets to curl a little bit. And I'd look to get into Intel short. I'd look to get into a firm short. Those are the two that I got my eyeballs on. Still thinking short overall. Let's see what's up with Tesla. I know you mentioned this one. Tesla 200 really should have been a thing. It didn't quite get there. 199.5 is what it got to, but it's made once, breakout at the open, twice, I guess it was like 1 o'clock off 192. And if you count this here, it's trying to bounce off that 192 3 times. I when in doubt, zoom out. Yesterday, it had an early morning bottom at that price, and there was a nice consult. Right at 2 o'clock, we came on air. It was holding 192 and then rocketed up $4. So I don't wonder if Tesla might be a sneaky bounce play off the 192 here, just for a scalp look for the longs, given what the market's trying to hold at the bottom.
So I just put some offers up on NVIDIA right now. Amazon's coming back, but we're not doing anything on Amazon until we get a little bit higher, closer to 168. We sort of talked about that right now as well. Okay, so we'll watch out. I just want to tell you, just before we have our guest coming on, I just want to watch out for 671 on Amazon. On NVIDIA. If that comes in, we're going to be short in and around 670, playing off 671. So if you see something fly in, that's what's happening right there. Going to look to get a little more short on Amazon and go over to the desk with Brendan.
There we go. Thanks so much, guys. Yeah, we're happy to have TAG Oil with us this afternoon. $85 million U.S. market cap oil company focused continued growth through strategic acquisitions and property development. Currently, TAG recently announced success in drilling its unconventional resource play in the western desert of Egypt. Toby Pierce is CEO of the company and joins us this afternoon. Great to see you, Toby. How's your afternoon going, first of all?
Good. Thanks, Brendan.
Happy to have you with us. Let's start here with maybe if viewers haven't heard that term before, unconventional oil play. Maybe let them know exactly what that means, and then we'll get into some of the details on this discovery.
Sure. Many of your viewers have probably heard of resource plays in North America, such as the Permian Basin or the Eagle Ford. And what we're looking at is a lookalike to the Eagle Ford in Egypt.
So what makes this horizontal well significant compared to maybe other discoveries from the company in the past? What makes this stand out?
This particular well is it'll be about 1,000 meters horizontal, and if everything goes according to plan, our independent resource engineers have given us 1,000 to 1,500 barrels a day as the initial guidance for the test. We obviously hope to do as well, or even perhaps better than that, but it'll be a significant game-changing event for us.
That RPS number, RPS term, let us know exactly what that means and why that's significant, why we should
Sure.
look to that.
RPS is an independent resource consultant that does 51-101s on behalf of companies and resource reports as well. So they're completely independent, third party, and have validated a lot of the work that we've done and provided a lot of the guidance that we provide to the street.
So 420 million in contingent resources across 20 locations on its existing acreage for the company. For comparison's sake, resource value compares to what exactly when it comes to TAG?
So yeah, really, it's there's 20 locations that we've mapped out currently and submitted as our field development plan to the government of Egypt, and RPS has just taken those values, worked out what an NPV will be over the life of the well. It approximately gives us 1.2 million barrels per well of recovery. And we hope to better that, of course, but provided we get close to those numbers, we should see 420 million US in total value over the course of the field development.
For any development or resource company in this position, straightforward, inexpensive production is always key. Are there any hurdles when it comes to infrastructure that you see going forward?
No, we're very fortunate in this field in particular. Shell developed a significant portion of deeper horizons back in the early 80s. They built extensive infrastructure. We don't have to build any new infrastructure other than short tie-ins, and that helps us with the economics on the plate.
What do we need to know here, Toby, if we look forward here for the company? Anything else exciting that investors need to know going into the remainder of 2024?
Yes, so there's a couple of big milestones coming up. Obviously, our well test in early April. That's the big catalyst that everyone's hoping for. Additional acreage. We expect to be able to announce some additional acreage at some point in the next 3 to 6 months. And of course, as we roll into our development drilling program, horizontal number 2 and other drilling, that will also provide catalysts in Q2, early Q3 timeframe.
TAO is the ticker, guys, if you're looking for it. TAO on the TSX Venture Exchange here in Toronto. TAOIF, OTCQB, south of the border. Toby Pierce, CEO of TAG Oil. Best of luck. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks. Thanks, Brendan. Have a good day.
There it is. Thank you so much, Brendo, for that. And again, I feel like energy, tech obviously is very exciting and has been leading the way here. I feel like there's a lot of energy plays that are undervalued right there. So check that out, TAO over there on the TSX Venture Exchange, and an OTC symbol as well. So go over and have a look at that. Thank you so much for that interview. It's always nice to see companies that are starting out. So, all right. We didn't get any fills since we were gone. We did get some more water though. So shout out. Oh, I do have, there it is. I have Hydration Nation. All right, so I lied. We actually have a fill. We did get an Amazon fill, but we were waiting up, near 80 to get more. So we don't have a full position on Amazon, but we do have a fill up there, giving us our average price rate here at 56. So, it's not really doing anything. We would like to get more. Our stop's going to be up here at 68. But I was trying to be specific with what I was doing because remember, I'm not super certain here on what exactly to expect from Amazon. We are getting into the power hour right now. So as we go, we'll still continue to watch our ARM. I have an NVIDIA short waiting at 70. We got pretty close there, man. We got to 80, 69.80. We'd be $1 in the money if we took the fill there. Oh, that's too bad. Okay, well, whatever. It wasn't a huge position. We're waiting for a little bit more as well. Now I'm going to go a little bit higher, 669.50. Let's just start a small position halfway through. I mean, I don't mind taking a position halfway. It won't be the best fill because we are looking for something closer to 650, but 670. But if this bounces back up, we should probably take a fill. I mean, I don't know where it's going. Tesla, we've already talked. I'm just looking at names that are bouncing around some key levels. Lucid coming after hours today. Their 52-week low is. Brendan, I know that thing doesn't work over there, but this is very hot in here right now.
I'm dying.
It's almost like you may have to do the recap show if I pass out.
We're wearing sweaters in here.
Just get ready for that.
It is balls hot in here.
3:30. This is almost the hottest it's been. I
100% agreeing. But that being said, I'm in a sweater. I feel like if I had 90% of the time I anticipate this and I wear a sweater that has I can just take it off and I have a golf shirt underneath. I just feel like that's the way to go because let's be real for a second. And this is not to make a light of the situation or try to overdo it, but you do want to be comfortable when you're trading and you want to be in that right sort of mind space. Not that it's that sweltering, but it is getting a little bit hot in here. That said, the market's trying to heat up itself. Which means I waited for not quite VWAP of resistance on a firm here. I got short 38.5, so it'll round sometimes up, sometimes down, but I took 2 fills in here into VWAP on a firm, able to grab the 38.5. let's see. I mean, it's been trending to the downside, but as I said, the market is trying to go up. I was, right before we had our guest on, I said I liked 192 on Tesla. It made a little bit of a bounce, got up to 93. I didn't get the fill. As it retests back in, I'll look for it to bounce. I don't necessarily, like, I like to get it in the bounce, not after it's made the move and is coming back down. Like, I try to catch it on the way up, so I missed it on the way up. And so the new position for me is just a short after that little move that we just had back into the upside. AMD, which I was trying to show you, and this chart, hopefully, there you go. I had some bad wicks on my AMD chart I was able to clean up, because I said I made top wick twice on it, but you couldn't tell because of the wicks. I made essentially the top wick twice on AMD. I know there's like somebody else that filled up here, but that was mostly dark pool, like essentially 164.5, and then right here, 164. And sometimes that's how it is, but the difference, getting in before it's made the top. Like, let it come up. This is it making the top at the same level. This is the other side of the trade. Comes and makes the top. Maybe you can get it in here somewhere. That one's probably way too fast at noon. But then if it comes in again to 164, let it get to 164. Then start to turn. Miss out on the first 10 to 20 cents just to make sure you're getting in the other direction. Specifically on AMD, it's one thing I don't do very well on AMD, specifically that stock. And if you've been watching the morning show, sometimes that happens. So Affirm, that's a new position to the short. Let's see if it can't flush all the way down to the bottom. Affirm has been trending down, but the last break was of the 38 level. I don't know where the bottom's going to be on Affirm, but sometimes when you have these big, massive runners and gaps, like the last time it was underneath 38, it did 1 week and went from $28 to $38. So I'm thinking trend short until it's back above that price. So every single day, if this is underneath $38, I'm looking for the trend to the downside.
Okay, NVIDIA, just as we said, is looking to break lower. So it's too bad that we didn't get that short that we wanted. That sucks. That always is going to be the case, it seems like. Let's see if it battles back up. I do want to just try a small fill if we break back below. I mean, it just bounced off the day's low. So you see what I'm saying? And I will address your question there, Patrick, in a minute, because I think you are getting close to being right there. All right, so anyways, I'm looking at my fills. I'm still waiting for fills on NVIDIA. So let's see where we go. But all right, sorry, your question was on ARM, not Amazon. All right, so yeah, I feel that ARM is not moving the way that ARM generally will move. That being said, if it loses the bid, it's gone. It's just a matter of it keeps finding a bid. In and around 123, like this whole area has been pretty good. Like once, remember when it broke this on the midday show, and it was like as soon as we broke that 124, it just really ripped up. I just feel like the buyers, because there's such a low float on this thing, once it gets going, it's really hard to stop on either direction. So I feel that just waiting up here for 125.50 to break, I know it kind of feels like you're a sitting duck a little bit. But if you just keep doing what I'm doing here and just kind of scalping it out every little bit, some days are going to be those like hero trades and you're just like, wow, man, props up. I can't believe the way these are moving. And then other days you'll be like, oh my God, this thing's not even moving. And right now, like look at ARM, it's doing nothing. And NVIDIA just went up and down, by the way, $3 again. So right now NVIDIA, it went to 668, 668.50. It went to and it just touched 666 again. So this is looking like it wants to break, but just understand that there's going to be a lot of slippage here on NVIDIA because everybody that's going long is doing the exact same thing as all of us. They're waiting for that 666 to break, and then they're going to punch out and potentially reverse into the short. So you're going to have to watch out for that. I just have one example for you on that one. Everybody see PANW.
Yeah, look at that price.
What happened when that broke the low of the day? It's now down $6. Off that low break, and here I am thinking I'm all real cool guy going long here, getting out. We're still up on it, like I said, but barely. Just going long, and that's from being disastrous early. We made back everything and more on these longs, but it's that short right there. We could sit here and be happy that we made everything back long, but at the end of the day, we don't have the move short. So if that does break here for NVIDIA, which it's about to do right now, be careful. The bottom of the day is right here, right now. 6666, flat, basically. So here we go. Watch out. It almost broke again. So ARM's not doing anything right now, and here goes NVIDIA. Watch out for the break. I told you I sold 15% during lunch, and that's exactly what we did. Now we're short NVIDIA. Let's see where we go. We're short at 85. It's a good break there for us. It went down as low as 30s or 40s there maybe. Let's hold out and see what happens with NVIDIA. It's a small position to start with. Let's see if this is the beginning of something, a cascade a hell of a lot lower. So we'll wait to see now what happens with NVIDIA. I still have my targets. I'm still going to play the 50 period. When I'm playing breaks, we're playing 50 periods. So let's see if we have a little bit of a PANW moment in our sights right now. And to say that like we weren't thinking about this from a long time ago, I mean, we've been talking about this top for NVIDIA for a while. So now let's see if it does come home here. NVIDIA, we're short. We're in the money 55 cents. It's going lower. Let's see what happens to NVIDIA into the close.
Breaking 65. I just threw a poll up there, but the poll isn't what's going to happen into the close because earnings are aftermarket. I think everyone's caring about that print. I mean, it moves down. Like you can get like a couple bucks here, but I don't think it's down 4% right now. You make some fresh lows, get 5%, maybe 6%. That's reasonable. But aftermarket, people are expecting fireworks. So let us know in the poll. Do you think NVIDIA red or green from close to open? So just where do you think it will be at tomorrow's open? I've already cast my vote to red, and early, it's actually almost 50-50. I'm a little surprised. I thought it'd be like maybe 70-30. But the market heading back in, I reloaded a firm on VWAP, went back over to that. Well, it's starting to flush back into the downside. I never even got, like I said, I'm going to get on the offer of Intel in the top of its range. Thank you, chart. But it never even got up there. Intel is still hugging the bottom, and my trusty 15-minute chart never fails me. But it's hugging the bottom, and I'm just looking to fade the top end of this range. This could break 43 today. But bye-bye, NVIDIA. I don't know, man. And it's not necessarily about the earnings, but the floodgates are opening up. When you talk about big stop levels.
We'll see.
Well, okay, well, yeah, we'll definitely see. But right now, 4% to the downside, and it was sideways for like 80% of the day. NVIDIA wasn't moving. Let me get to that chart for a second. For 80% of the day, NVIDIA was doing sideways things and then flush. Sideways, sideways, sideways. Big move. And each of those have been to the downside. Most of the trade has been wait, flush, wait, flush. And so when that's happening, it tells you that a lot of the big money has been picking their spots. They're holding it down by doing gradual selling, but when the floodgates open up, can't seem to hold on. I do still like AMD. It just never got to 164. Roll over at 163.50. I've been pretty patient. Patience has been better for me today. I think, to be honest, patience is the only reason that I'll be green today. Because if I was over aggressive on Amazon, I had no chance on Amazon because I was thinking long. If I was over aggressive on PANW because I was looking for longs, then I would be down on the stock. But we're very, very patient, pick their spots. Like, look at that break. It's at 260 already. This is the 200-period moving average on PANW today. Wow.
Yeah, good look for PANW. Let's go, man. If we can get some ARM bids here down near 124, we'll take that as well. So just a shout out to Patrick there in the chat was asking me before about some of the target areas here.
Oh, I thought you meant.
And if we can get into there, that the 50 period or the 200 period has been holding a couple times. So right into there, 124. I do have a bid. We just came 5 cents away from getting a fill. So hopefully that doesn't stop us from getting a fill. All right, there we go. We're still him. We're still here. Let's go, man. We've now our first position. Let's see if it can go up to the upside. Props to anybody that rode. But it's still not breaking through 64 too good. It just got to 663 and change right there. I'm bidding 663 flat. So I want to get another $1 on this one to the downside. Hopefully we can get that. But I'm getting a little bit nervous here right now because this move is not following through. So I will ring the register a little bit, do a little bit of a face slap right there. We'll take it right there. It won't be a fruit salad kind of a trade, but all right, but it will be one of these. We'll floss off another dub right there. But look what's happening to NVIDIA, man. Now it's only back up to $1 in the money. We got to be careful with this. I would love to see this thing break through 664 solidly and then head to the downside. We are bidding 663. Maybe let me just put a bid at 660. Let's go to 663.50 just in case, you know, it whooshes down there on a 664 break. So there it is. So we do have a bid. Oh, let's see. So we are now, I mean, I don't know what else you guys are going to get kind of fun action like this, but maybe somewhere. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're $2 in the money, and we just panned this out for you perfectly. We talked about going short. I tried to get short there. Bang, right there. That's what we're talking about. Let's go, man. It's floss time. That's the trade that you all want. It's right there. It's NVIDIA. It's $1 in the money on ARM. It's near $3 in the money now for NVIDIA. We're back, baby. This is what we're talking about. Let's see if we can make some more damage down into the downside. We just tweeted that out. It's our first position on NVIDIA. And right there, NVIDIA mooning near the top of the list now for P&L stocks. One trade and only one fill. We're out of half of NVIDIA, and it's rocketed to the top of the board P&L wise per stock. So let's go. Let's see where NVIDIA goes. If this goes back up, it could be the #1 loser P&L. But for right now,
we never want winners to turn into losers.
No. So let's wait to see. Good one there. Thank you to everybody in the chat. I really hope that you guys like that trade. Thank you for the thumbs up. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Go follow me at TraderTV Sean, and hopefully you won't regret that.
Yeah, exactly. Look, you're not going to regret it if you follow the show, if you're going to be a trader. There's a couple of questions in there. Sean, he's trading NVIDIA, the equity. Some people have been asking about the leveraged ETFs. So maybe you can't go short at your brokerage. There's a few out there. We don't trade them because we don't have to trade NVD. Like NVD is a 2x bear on NVIDIA. If you have like restricted ability to go short, then you might have to trade one of those ETFs. There's like NVDL is a 2x long. So you can look them up, and there are opportunities to go to those if you don't have the ability to go short. The liquidity might be a little different, so I would caution you on that. And then there was a great question in the chat. Natty, what up, Natty? How is it possible to make a living from trading? Have a plan. First of all, know where you're wrong in your trades before you enter your trades. Make sure your losing trades are not bigger than your winning trades. Make sure you try not to blow out. That's a big problem for a lot of traders, is they have like massive losing days relative to their winning days. So you want to make sure you get that ironed out. But it all starts with having a plan, having in, having out. That's why we discuss, what am I looking for? Do I like a firm short? Yes. But does that mean I'm shorting it wherever the price was when I pulled it up? No. Because I could have shorted at $36 when I first saw it, but no, I want to short it into here so I can get out at above $36.50, and I have a good solid entry price, and we're patiently waiting for it. So it requires that, like Sean waited for NVIDIA. NVIDIA was at 68, 69, you were mentioning that before. But it was the break of the low of the day that was the reason to get into the trade. So what's your reason to get into the trade, and what's your execution plan? Just make sure you try to follow that. And then from there, throw capital towards the things that work and try to do less of what doesn't work. I know it's simple to say, but it's not always easy to follow in practice. We're talking about it every single day. We now have the midday stream as well, going simultaneously with the midday stream all day long. We'll have more Trader TV where you can actually not just follow our trades. Right now, you want to make sure you're only paying attention to the long and short's been pretty good. The prices have had some bugs in it. Like I can tell you, my price is 4 cents off in a firm, but the position and the direction has been consistently good. And you get what's moving today, which is important because you want to trade what is moving. So you get the movers on the day, you'll get top stocks for news and a schedule of what's happening. Like if you don't know that there's a Fed speaker in the middle of the day, well, maybe you're trading the cues and you should know something like that. Bond auction today moved the market, so we have a schedule up there so you can keep that abreast. So you're with us all day long, open them both up, and I don't think you can go wrong. Have a plan, have the resources, and from there, all you do is try to get a little bit better every single day, and just whatever the market's trying to teach you.
Your price is right?
Make sure you learn. No, it's not.
Yeah, 43.58.
No, I'm short 36.40.
Yeah, mine are way off.
What's weird?
Mine are always way
is
off.
mine have been like close but wrong.
Like, look at
but
my
not
NVIDIA
dead on.
price.
No, it's not right.
Yeah.
But the actual direction and position has been consistently correct.
It's good.
It's having an issue with the API reading the prices.
It's all good. It's
by
all
the way,
good.
PANW.
It's all gravy. It's actually young gravy.
PANW bounced off the 200 period moving average.
Ooh.
So it's now only down 28% today, which is not bad.
And Dubs, nice.
Natty, you were asking about, first of all, it's no longer day trade the world, it's real trading.
Right.
Check out the real trading website. Bears versus Bulls can throw that up for you. If you're interested in trading with real trading, then just go to the website and there's like a form you can fill, like apply now, and they'll get back to you. There aren't offices literally everywhere, but unless you're in the United States, there's offices all across the globe. So, all you have to do is go to the website and ask. Bears versus Bulls, appreciate you for making sure that our viewers get those questions asked, and I know you'll have that resource. I'm on the bid right now in front of 20s on a firm, so 36.40 I'm in, and we're looking to get, we just actually got 22s in there, so we'll try to ring the register. I think the low of the day is just underneath 36, it's like 35.90, so I'll see if we can't press down into said low of the day. 45 minutes to go. 45 minutes until all you-know-what breaks loose. Okay, maybe like 50-something minutes until NVIDIA earnings. That said, is it actually that crazy if Rivian or Lucid have a bigger percentage move? I actually don't think that would be that crazy. Both of those are capable of. The dollar amounts are irrelevant because NVIDIA is obviously a bigger company, but I think all of the earnings that we're going to get, Rivian's before market, but it will be Lucid's after. So you're gonna get big earnings.
No, they're both after. Rivian's after.
It is after. So they're both. Okay, so it is all of them then. So in the market recap
Rivian
show,
after, Lucid after, yeah.
Yeah, those two, don't sleep on them. We know they've been in the penalty box. How good a level has 15 been on Rivian? If Rivian doesn't hold 15, it's like, forget about it. I don't even know what else to say. Like 15 has been a brick wall on Rivian on the daily chart. If it doesn't hold that, I know what I'm looking for tomorrow if it's underneath. And then you're right there at the 52-week lows, which sit 1170 or so. So that's a lot of room for it to break this channel to the downside. Now that said, I don't want it to go down. I'm just talking about the key price levels here. I'm never betting for a stock to go down. You make trades, but I don't want to, like, you make trades as a day trader, but I'm not sitting here hoping something goes down into oblivion. I don't hold shorts overnight in my personal account. I don't short things in my personal account. The only negative bets I ever make in my personal account are essentially, maybe sometimes I'll sell covered calls on a long position in my personal account. That's about it. Or I'll trim a position to the long side. But I do believe we need to go to the desk with Dara's got something for us.
A little bit of a pop here for Media Alpha. Not a ton of volume on this, but certainly a good upwards move. MAX, the ticker for this one, reported last night. Earnings beat across the board. Couple analyst price target increases here for MAX, up 24%, guys.
It's taking it to the maximum. No. That's horrible and awful at the same time, but just one note on this one. So the volume, it's going to have good relative volume, but you're up 24% on less than 1 million shares worth of volume. That's more of a swing type deal for me. If you got like a bit of a spread and the volume isn't quite enough for the day trade, I think you want to look for it on a longer time frame. Unfortunately, Compressor X, I didn't see your question, so you're saying how? Oh, never mind. You're asking me how I feel. I'm feeling a lot better, man. It was rough over the weekend. Shout out to Obi for filling in for me Thursday afternoon and Friday. I had a rough weekend till about, I was starting to get better on Sunday. Was able to go out on family day skating with my daughter, who's now in love with skating. Although, I meant to ask, I asked Sean, he hasn't responded to me. Hey, Sean, I need advice on blisters for skating because my daughter, she was enjoying it so much. She essentially got like a really bad blister. And we're like, yeah, what kind of special socks you can get? I'm not really a big skater or anything like that. But if you're Canadian, you usually know the answer to that question. So I know there's some socks are better than others, tighten the skates, all that good stuff. But I want to go over to something which was bullish, and I'm hoping can be bullish again. And that's Nike. I've been patiently, remember I said, I'm waiting for a firm to get to VWAP, and for that 43.50, for that curl that ended up working out for now. Well, Nike has now pulled down, and it's trying to bounce off VWAP. See? So the plan of action was Nike strong, market pulling in. Let's see if it can make a bounce off this support. It's bouncing off 104.65. If it can hold that $0.50, I'm going to look for the relief rally long. There's still some time in this market. Even if you get like a 50-cent move back into the 105, risk to reward, that's going to look good to me. Going to risk it. To be less than 20 cents on this, but let's call it 20 cents when you round it. Expect some slippage on almost all of your trades.
All right, let's go, man. Yes. This is getting way better, Okay, way better. Right now, NVIDIA, nice little move to the downside right here. Yes, sir. Did we say this was going to the top of the order? Yes, we did. And there it is, man. Props up to anybody that just shorted that bad boy with us. We just re-shorted NVIDIA, and then we come back and bring the pain back inside. So 66, we just shorted 667.50 right there on NVIDIA on the way back up, man. And we're covering it right now. We just did this like 30 seconds ago. So there goes NVIDIA right back into that low of 666. Man, that evil devil, boom, there it goes. Let's go, man. This is $1 already. We are starting to get lit up right now. If you guys can't see this, it is a nice trade. And by the way, let's go. We got Amazon and ARM. ARM is flushing. NVIDIA is flushing. I can't even keep my words straight here. Nice little move to the downside right now as we go. And can you believe this? We're going to do also the market recap show. You think we're having fun right now? Join me in just a couple minutes, and we will be doing that at 4 o'clock. We'll have all the live earnings right there with you right now. But thank you so much, NVIDIA. You just came up to the 50 period and give us $1 smooth all the way back there into the downside. Let's see if we can get lower than this. Look, we're getting stopped out at a 668 break. So that's why we got excited there, man. Like, if we could take $1.50 when we're risking 50 cents, we're doing that, especially on NVIDIA, which is giving me, ways right now. Let's see what happens with NVIDIA back down in. Next bid, 664. I'm just going to put it there right now and see if we can grab that somehow. But if it goes back up to the upside, we already do have our magical out. So there it is, man. No magical beans over here. We're just making trades. ARM, $1.70 now in the money, and getting lower is ARM. So bye-bye. This is turning out to be a fantastic afternoon right now here on Trader TV Live. I hope you guys are hitting this with us, because we also have Amazon, which is starting to get juicy a little bit again right now, my guy. All right, here we go, man. We are here, and we are here every single day. Here we go. Get then into the downside here for Amazon. We'll see if we can get some more bids as we just hit the keys like crazy and start to get some more out. We told you that we are loading this up near the upside there, up 168. We'll take some profit as this falls back in. Yes, sir. Wow. And this is what we go by, man. Some afternoons, we sit here and I tell you all the time, the afternoon is super slow. We have to trade this, we have to trade that. Today, no. Lots of names moving around, especially if you're in the right spaces, man. You're going to watch PANW, you're going to watch Amazon, you're going to watch ARM, and obviously right now, as we put this one into $1.50 club right now, NVIDIA, man, you're about to have yourself one hell of a report right now.
One way or the other.
45, yeah, I mean, it could be the best report of all time. On their best report of all time,
they've already done that.
The stock went down 20% on their best report. So let's see if they have a bad one, what's going to happen. It doesn't matter. I can't hold these anymore into the close than I already am doing. At 4 o'clock, we have to be flat. So all we're trying to do is do a little bit of this right now for all of you. And if you're watching these trades, I don't want to hear anything like, oh, I'm in Sean's trades and they're not winning. I mean, not winning. They're all winning right now. Let's see what happens. They weren't winning earlier. They're winning now. ARM, $2 in the money, and that is flush city right now. I mean, we just took this trade as well. So, I mean, we're here. We're here for you, and let's just see if we can make a little bit of magic here in the afternoon. So we'll see, man. Hey, I hope NVIDIA's up 50 points tomorrow. If NVIDIA's not,
I want.
NVIDIA will be taking this whole market. If NVIDIA is down like 4 or 5%, you're gonna have one of the worst NASDAQ days, period, that you've seen. So what's up, Adara?
Nice late day pop with volume for another small cap here. SEED, Origin Agritech. This one up 80% right now, earlier today, announcing that they had experienced 77.5% revenue growth for 2023. Float for this one is under 5 million shares, so very low float, SEED, guys.
On them seeds in there. Look, at the end of the day, you got to trade your style, so I'm looking for very specific. In the afternoons, I find I'll trade less symbols in the afternoon than in the mornings, because they're like you have all evening and morning to plan for your trades and look at the key price level. So you have a list of things that look good. In the afternoon, like you're playing off, it's got to be a key level, it's got to be a clear trend, it's got to be all these different things, and then it has to give me the setup and the entry. Like Nike popped into VWAP. Okay, great. So we take the bid. I'm in my long. It either holds or it doesn't. Binary. Same thing with a firm. Either we're gonna get a break into the low of the day on a firm here, or we get maybe a chance at a reload. It's still 324, so we waited for one shot here. We got the short, and now we're looking to have it flush to the bottom. Intel, I hate to say it, but it's been a good trend down. Still at the bottom end of this range here. Still missing a bit of data on that chart. I'm going to cancel my 43.30. I'll let it get into that range. That's way too tight. We're short up here when it flat bottom broke at 43.60, and I want to stick to that. PANW, look, maybe it was worth it off that 200 period moving average. Hindsight is always going to be 20/20. After the floodgates open up at 266, to me at that point it's like either I'm reversing into the short or I'm just not going to touch it. It's trend down. I'm not shorting this name. The long off 260 would have worked out right off the 200 period moving average. I don't think you see that with NVIDIA, but I will tell you this much. If something like that happens, the 200 period on the 200 on NVIDIA will be the most popular trade in the universe tomorrow. If something that drastic were to happen, I think the 50 period is very much in play, and that only sits at $580. I think that's very, very much in play. So I'm looking to reload on a firm. Got to get up into VWAP. It's bounced down. Got 20 cents in the money, risking 10 or just slightly less than that. Probably not going to get the reload on Intel. And then Nike, we're just being patient with this as it tries to bounce off VWAP. We're now starting to go sideways. I'd like to see it get back into that 105. The early look on the imbalances, I'm expecting not a huge number because that's the way it's been. There was a question, hey, what do you think about the imbalances for NVIDIA? NVIDIA almost never has an imbalance on it, and earnings doesn't necessarily mean there would be one today. So I wouldn't read too much into it either direction. If NVIDIA doesn't have an imbalance at 350, that means nothing in terms of the volatility going into the close. It's never really been that type of a name. You don't usually see that there.
Yeah, I don't think it will have a very big imbalance. So we did break through 668, so we got out of NVIDIA there on the break of 668. So we're back in it right now because we had an offer at 668.50. So I just, oops, sorry, that's still ARM. If ARM breaks above 50 right there, so we just bounced off 23, let's give it a little bit of room. If it breaks above 50, we're going to get out of half of what we have left right there. So, all right, so now we're back in the money. We were just in the money 50 cents right here, more than that on NVIDIA. Here comes a flush back in, and there's the $1.50 again. So there's another dollar for us on NVIDIA. Yeah, so that's that. So right there, there's the out, right? We take that fill right there at 50, get out at O's. We actually got an 05 fill. Then we re-shorted it at 668.50, and there's the out at 667.50. So that's $1 right there. So lose a little bit, make, we told you we got out a half. So make and lose there, still make, and then get out right there of 2/3 for $1. I'd like to get shorter on NVIDIA up at 670. I'm still waiting for 670. Still waiting for 670. Let's see what happens. ARM obviously is fading, and Amazon's doing Amazon things, man. I mean, we've already shorted this. We're in the money. We'll see if we can get a little, well, we've been making a little bit of money back on this name for Amazon, but let's just be careful. NVIDIA's making its way back up. The net's like, I don't know, I'm not even really trading anything. We're going back and forth. We want a meta moment, not a PANW moment. Yeah, no. We want a meta moment too. Look, there's so much negativity, not on Meta, on NVIDIA right now, that there is a lot of opportunity for this name to go right back up. You know, there is no doubt about that. NVIDIA is still a very, very top holding of mine, and I am very, very bullish on the AI space. But I'm not bullish on this. I talked about it. So all last week, I was talking about on the show, they're rolling. I was saying this every morning. I said it when I came in. By the way, it's nice and cool in here now, finally. I said to Adara last Monday, I was like, they're going to be rolling out all of these upgrades all week. That's exactly what happened. Now you get into this week, and this is what's happening. So yeah, you know, we kind of thought this could be something, and it looks like it is exactly that for NVIDIA. So just be careful, that's all. Like, if you're gonna be like, yeah, we're long NVIDIA, it's going all the way up. Well, at some point, man, stuff can flush in. NVIDIA's already given back 70% a couple years ago. Not saying they're gonna give back 70% now, but if they did, I mean, I would hate it, but, you know, would not be a surprise to this old man if something like that happened. Let's just see if it continues to work, man. You know, AMD's already starting to head down, obviously. And this is what I mean by those upgrades. They already upgraded this, got everyone trapped at 740. Now it's down to 670 again. You know, so take that for what it's worth. This market is, it's going to be fun. And, you know, if you're caught.
It's always fun.
If you're caught in something, you could trade SMH at the end of it all. Like if you have NVIDIA options, you could trade SOXL or SMH or something like that as NVIDIA reports.
Actually, there's been some, we've talked about this before, before you throw to Adara here, we're going to handle some business at the desk, but we've talked about the dangers of trading earnings in the past. In aftermarket, because like the liquidity can be an issue and sort of predicting all those wicks. I will say this, there was a trader who had a really conservative and consistently profitable trade on earnings, and all it was, he waited for only the top weighted NASDAQ names. I'm talking big weights, like it has to be top 10 in the NASDAQ, and then he would trade reactions on the Qs for scalps. Just in, out, one shot on the Qs where he knew there would be liquidity and only in things that were going to move the Qs, because it's like, well, if NVIDIA is reporting, there's nothing else in that moment moving the Qs except for NVIDIA, and the same thing with Apple or Amazon. And it was a good strategy. And sometimes you can find that in something like a SOX, as Sean is mentioning, if you don't want to trade the thing that's flying around. So a little bit of a bounce off VWAP here in Nike. I'm on the offer, it's 330. You got to take what you can get at this time, but let's go to the desk and handle some business with Adara.
Trading can be a whole lot simpler with the right tools. That's why we recommend you check out the Simpler Central Live Trading Room. For a limited time, you can get a 60-day membership for just $1 when you join today.
All right, make sure you grab that ASAP. We are getting close. If this market wants to keep rallying back, we've talked about waiting for Amazon 168, so we're short at 167.89. I mean, that's about as chalk as you're going to get. I mean, 11 cents. So if it breaks higher, just making sure we have our fill out, that's what we're going to wait for. So let's wait for Amazon to break above 168, and then we'll work on it from there. So it's not looking great. We talked about if there was a rebound in the market, Amazon was going to be one of those names that we wanted to look long. And in fact, it's the #1 trade idea was to go long on Amazon. But we're going to go short now and see if it wants to work against that 168. It's been a nice travel, man. We were all the way down here, 167. Now there it is. So now you're starting to break above, looking at that 168. So it looks like this is starting to ramp up and get going now. It just looked like it touched through 168. We'll give it a couple more pennies, but it's gone. Right now, 168 on Amazon. So, you know, that short, there it is. That ticked through 5. That short is gone. So we will slap a fail on the Amazon short. I mean, we tried it. It was good for a minute. We got it in, then we got it out. So, yeah, unfortunately, not the big trade that we were hoping for there on Amazon. And we are almost, again, near and out for NVIDIA, because there it is. It's going to take 670 again right now. Actually, we actually got stopped out there, but got an okay fill as it bounced around 670 there. So, all right, so out there goes Amazon. So fun, or there goes NVIDIA and Amazon. So fun for a minute, but not fun late. ARM was good. We were able to get out of ARM at least there. But right now, these names continue to battle back upside. That's NVIDIA and ARM. Well, ARM is okay, but NVIDIA just took it out. So let's watch out for that. 670.81.
Before we go over the early look on the imbalances, 463 million to the sell side. So early look was actually sell imbalances. I took some profits on Nike. If it presses 105, I'm gonna try to get out here. But we got a special. We've got the afternoon sector watch with Adara.
Let's talk about some of the names in the S&P 500 that made bigger moves to the upside or downside that maybe we didn't talk about earlier today. And a lot of these are going to be earnings related. We do have Garmin here, GRMN. This one very much to the upside after reporting an earnings beat and actually authorizing a $300 million stock buyback through December 2026. We also have here Exelon, nice 4+% move to the upside here. Did post an earnings beat and also boosted their quarterly dividends by 5.6%. So good look here as well for EXC. Last but not least, another earnings name here. This one up about 2%. CoStar Group, but initially a bit to the downside after posting pretty weak guidance. They did, however, also post a slight earnings beat. So good look to the upside as well for CSTG. Overall, some other movers that maybe we didn't look at making big moves today, guys.
All right, all
While
right.
there's a lot of red on that board, but we talked about relative
you,
strength
Aguera.
of Nike a little bit there. But I just noticed like Deere, kind of a flat day. I know it's down, so there are some things which aren't that bad. I just trailed out of Intel at the 43.30. Remember I said I elected not to add at that price. Just felt like the market was a little bit strong. Made a judgment call. I was sitting there in the offer to add back into it. I'll end up getting out. Affirm, I'm feeling the same way about Affirm back into VWAP that I don't think I need to add to this. It's still looking weak enough that if the market can start to curl off, I might try to take it off VWAP again, but just want to preserve here. I don't want to turn winner into loser. Nike, if it presses 105, I want to respect
shit.
this range.
Go down.
You can see the top end, 105.10. That was the top end of the range, and when it broke down, it turned into a like immediate little hump resistance. So if it fails the 105 break, I'll jump out of that trade and just try to get a few kernels on the positive side here at the end of the day. Marvell, shout out to everyone in the chat for pointing out Marvell. We talk about relative strength and relative weakness. This, breaking highs and about to go green. There's not even a red candle since okay, there's one red candle since VWAP here at 3 o'clock. For 35 minutes, it's been going up. It's bouncing off the 50-period moving average. They don't even report till March. I don't know why Marvell's so late. I always felt like it used to report in the same week as
Same.
NVIDIA. Like, I feel like it reported literally the day after NVIDIA, but it doesn't really matter. They're not reporting until March 7th, but a bounce off the 50 period. If NVIDIA were to have a good reaction to their earnings, forget about what the earnings are, I'm talking about the reaction, I think it would bode really well for Marvell.
Whoa.
But as mentioned, wow, Affirm just shot up there. I'm out of Affirm. No reload on Affirm. It'll end up profitable only because we took some profit. Maybe it holds out and curls, but I'm not going to fight this one. The market is bouncing heavily here, and the only long I could find was something that was already strong, which was Nike, bouncing it off VWAP. I like that VWAP retrace in the afternoon with the general trend of the stock. Thankfully, Nike was out there for us, and the reason Nike's up today, there was I don't know who the activist investor was. You can probably find the report, but there's activist investor action with Nike, so that's why they're up to 1.5% today.
Yeah, remember Nike off the podcast. Make sure you watch it again, man. We that was one of our calls. Long Nike, $100 on that call. So we'll have to wait for it. So by the way, NVIDIA is now at 673.
What?
So yeah, man, it's really starting to go. So there's not. The only other thing I was thinking was like I didn't think we'd get back to VWAP, but we do have a high rate here. You know, I guess this is what I'm saying, man. Maybe the report is the report, and it's nice. So we'll wait to see what exactly are the expectations here for NVIDIA into the close for what could possibly be, obviously, a pretty monstrous report coming through, not just for the market, but for all of these chip names. So, you know, here it comes, man. A little bit of a break higher on NVIDIA into this is what you're looking for, 675.
Everything is flying.
Break higher. Everything's starting to go back
No,
up.
the NASDAQ's almost at 17.5.
The NASDAQ just took VWAP, so VWAP for NVIDIA is way high, 675.30. So we still have a ways to go if you're shorting NVIDIA, if you're waiting for VWAP. So there it goes, man. It's really getting excited to the upside. Bye-bye goes NVIDIA as the market goes boom. It was a sell imbalance, 463.
And the market is treating it like
To
dirt.
sell, so yikes. We'll have to wait to see what happens here. Market go boom right now to the upside ahead of earnings. So this can happen, man, and it's happening right now.
The only thing I'm thinking about fading, when I say fade, I mean if the market's going up, I would still think about shorting it. And because it would be a tight stop and it's VWAP and it's 337, it would be Intel. Down 2.5%. It's trying to bounce. I got out of the short here at 30s and didn't reload, but that doesn't mean if it gets back to the original entry off the 43.6, I'm down for that. It was a flat bottom breakdown on Intel. Can you tell at one point, like Intel was an easy short off VWAP, and then all this nonsense when they had an event going on, and then settled right back down. The event ended and it just settled right back down and going to a short. So I want this into VWAP. We get another 15, 20 cents before 350, and I'll wait patiently for that to come in. If it never gets there, I'm not trading it. I don't need to force any price action. If you're in a long, that's a chip name, it's doing better than Nike, but Nike was the one that I liked for the setup, so that's the one I took. You could have had AMD for longs. I wasn't looking long on AMD. Not a red candle. Marvell, just as impressive. These are all flying to the upside. The only one that looks weak enough that there's a resistance level I can find. to me is going to be that Intel. So I got to be patient waiting for that. Even like Apple here, like Apple was a dog. I mean, Apple was just chilling out, looking for a very slow retest of 180. It's already at VWAP. That's a huge reaction by the market. My gut always says at 350, when you have a move like that,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
regression. Like, I'm always thinking, if you run like this in a 350, when the imbalances hit, it's like a mean reversion type trade. So I'm usually thinking VWAP, key levels. That's why I'm back to that Intel 43.6. Apple at 182 doesn't look that uninteresting either.
Oh, we liked an Apple 182 short from earlier. That was a sticky note level. Okay, yeah, wow, that is a nice move up for Apple. But again, the market is right here. Like, we need to watch out for NVIDIA trying to make moves right now on us. Look at this Amazon getting out of that one. We should have just switched in. Like I said, man, that's like that PANW trade where you didn't switch over to the long. Everything right now is going to be at VWAP. NVIDIA's at VWAP. Amazon's at VWAP. You just mentioned there. Apple back to VWAP.
Let's do Marvell.
As well. Marvell maybe not at VWAP.
This is ridiculous. Like, there's something. What is going on with Marvell right now?
It's just the whole chips, man. They're all going nuts.
Missing something?
I don't think we're missing anything, dude. I just think it's earnings and it's they're.
Wow.
It's nuts. But there it is right now, man. 182 for Apple. This probably is something worth taking now, as we've talked about this. But we have NVIDIA coming up pretty quickly, so we're excited to see that. And I'm not excited to be losing right now as we go upside on NVIDIA. Now, I'm going to wait for 675, but that's coming up right now. I try the short into this in case it flushes off the close. But maybe there is some in buy. Look at this, like building purple flowers. We're not even down that much on this stock because we hit some big winners, but we will be red on it. If it rips through 675, which it looks like it wants to do. Definitely playing momentum the wrong way here on NVIDIA. But who knows? The other trade there is ARM. That's still $1.40 in the money. This name seems to have been okay. We did not reload ARM. I have to pay attention to this NVIDIA. So let's wait to see what happens here. Hopefully it pulls back a little bit and we can get a relief position a little bit out if we do bounce back down just a little bit. And then we'll see, because we just bounced off that 675 and we were too impatient. So there it is. We get a 40 fill as it's falling back in just a little bit here, licking some of the wounds of this NVIDIA short, which appears to be hella wrong. Should have shorted that Apple probably.
Well, I'm going to Apple right now. And by the way, there was a tease trade in the chat. When I was saying looking for a mean reversion, I didn't mean the market tomorrow would be down. I'm specifically talking about this move up in the NASDAQ going into the net order imbalances at 350. That's all. When you have this kind of a quick ramp into 350, I generally like a little bit of a mean reversion play. Just because you get so much such a pressure valve release there. If it was a sell imbalance and then we moved up like this in front of NVIDIA earnings, I can see there being that bit of a play to pull back in. And I've said that before. Like, I like that setup going into 350. We can have a relatively tight stop. You get to short off of a key price level. Apple happens to be at 182. That's the reason I'm going over to Apple, just clearing up some stop orders. If it breaks it by 10 cents or so, I'll get out. So risk about 30 pennies there. It just made an 80-cent move very rapidly. But Marvell's got my attention. I don't want to stand in front of that one, but I'm going to put it on the radar for tomorrow morning. I haven't looked at that stock in a while. I don't really pay attention to it as a day trade until they have earnings. Their earnings are always ridiculous. They move a lot, but we don't have to get those until a couple of weeks from now. Intel might not get to VWAP, or I'd choose this over Apple for the short in front of 350. But if Apple breaks out, it'll have to be, it's probably 11s it'll have to print. And if it does that, I'm out of it. I'm not going to sit on the offer, but I will look to short any curl in front of VWAP on Intel if this market can do it. And we're at 17.495 right now. Like, this market is relentless to the upside. Like, I just got into Apple, it looked like it was making a turn, waited for it to make the top in there, started going down for like a hot second, and then right back up retesting those highs. So I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna set my stop, and then try not to make a mess of this one as the market is flying into NVIDIA earnings. Oh,
the market, NVIDIA.
If I had my it's a trap key, but I don't. I don't know why I don't have that one
The
anymore.
spread on NVIDIA right now is freaking monstrous. Like, I just got a short, I'm trying to get out and I cannot. Like, these bids, like, there it goes, it just broke. Oh, that sucks. So we did get something down there at 673.50, but then it just broke. Like, I don't even, the spread there was like 70 cents. That's okay. I mean, our out is fine. It's more that, too bad. Like we could have just tried to close the gap there, but NVIDIA does go. It's funny because ARM's not doing anything right now, but NVIDIA does go, and so does Apple at the same time. Breaks through 182 right there. Oh, man. Now you're going to break back down? I wonder about that NVIDIA trade, man, honestly. Let's play off that very wick high there, 676. I feel like it just did a little dance there. We'll get back in it and see if we can win right now for that one. So, yeah, maybe we just topped out on some of these names, but it doesn't matter. We don't have as many shares as we want. So right now it's 344. This market's getting a little out of hand right now, back up to the upside, but we'll wait. Well, there's no point in waiting now. It's 3:44, so we only have a couple minutes until we get going. But yeah, right there, rinsed out on NVIDIA. It just kept on going up, up, and up right there. So we'll put a red mark on NVIDIA so far here today.
When we talk about like program buying, on every single chip name, like it went chips, chips, chips. You saw it get started. I think Marvell looked like it was first, to be honest with you. Then you saw NVIDIA, you saw AMD move. The last ones to move was Intel because it was weak. And then you saw also some of the big cap tech names start to go as well. I'm pretty close to getting stopped. We went in on Apple. If it breaks the 10s, I'm just jumping out of the trade. Nike can't seem to break 105. So I'm on the offer here trying to get some 95s. Just to get out of this one. It's a VWAP bounce, but it's running out of time for this to make another move up. So I'm just going to jump out of it in front of that 350 number. The early look to the imbalances, oddly enough, it went from a sell side of 460. The market just made that move up, and now it's a sell side of 735, which makes sense to me. Like that makes a lot of sense that the imbalance to be more sellers as we go up going into such a key earnings event. So just because the imbalances are one direction or the other does not mean they have to go that way. And individual names, I didn't see anything of interest, but I'll show you guys anyways because that's how we do around here.
Oh, it's out? No.
No, the early look imbalances for individual names, CVS is the biggest one, and that's a buy despite the fact they're coming out of the Dow. So like that's who's coming out and Amazon's going in. But the market now trying to reject 17.5. Wow, we will. Oh yeah, there was a NCLH had an early look imbalance of 1.3 million shares. That's actually significant for NCLH. If it's over if it comes out over 1 million shares, that's actually a decent amount for Norwegian.
Yeah, that would be big. All right, so like as if now it goes right back down. It's too bad. We are still short this name NVIDIA, but we're only short at 675. We were short a hell of a lot of shares there as it broke above VWAP, but there, here goes the move down. Now we're $1 back in the money. This has been like a really entertaining couple minutes here. I'm going to bid at 672 now on NVIDIA and see if it wants to make the move down. But there it is. So make a little bit of money back. But that was a huge move up on NVIDIA. So congratulations, man. I mean, that just went from 664 to 676. Like almost in a straight line right there. Crazy, crazy times. ARM is still at the, basically, like it's too bad that we sort of started messing with the king there with NVIDIA because ARM has really stayed in the pocket the whole time. It never even put a risk spot anywhere. So yeah, ARM, nice move down. We'll see here if it continues. I'm still waiting for a bigger flush on NVIDIA. I do have a bid in and around 672. Maybe we'll just take a 673, take $1.70 right now. We'll put a bid. There it is. We'll get that fill. Then if it flushes, it flushes. What's up, Adara? Oh
Brought to you by IG.com. Trade Forex pairs like Euro USD with spreads as low as 0.8 pips and zero commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
So heading to the upside, look, Nike's been an absolute beast. I know you love that. It's one of the good things, one of the cool things about the pod is podcast. I can say pod, whatever, who cares? You guys know what I'm talking about.
$3. Damn
but
you, NVIDIA.
Nike making a strong bounce. At the end of the day, I'm jumping out of this because it's 350. So it rejected that 105 level. I do want to respect that. So wait patiently for the price level. It gets to VWAP. Just get the one in, get the out. I'm still in Apple. That's break even right now. Apple's like everything else, to flew to the upside. And even then, like it just got to like 90s for flat, and then it bounced like 5 cents higher. So you are getting some strength. I have canceled any notion of getting into Intel at VWAP because it didn't get anywhere close. If I was going to be in this trade, I'd already be in it. So we're going to have to sit this one out. Don't know what I don't know what is going to happen with NVIDIA. But I keep saying this over and over. I'm not going to be married to the notion of whichever direction NVIDIA goes, that's where I'm going to trade Intel. I feel like when you've already had your earnings be bad, it just could go a different way. So I'm going to be open-minded about Intel and just trade the price action. Marvell looked like it was flushing and then just bounced clean off of 65. So this is still this stock's still bullish. Like if you were, I'm not long this, and shout out to everyone and congratulations for who sniffed this out at VWAP. I wasn't even looking at this stock today. But if you were long, you got to be ecstatic that it just dipped back in 40 pennies, held 65 on a dime, and is immediately retesting back up toward those highs. I wish I could say that Apple wasn't retesting some of these tops, but that's probably going to stop me out. Right on the imbalances in about 20 seconds. If it comes out of bid, this is going to probably instant stop me out, that's kind of the plan. I don't want to hold it in the wrong direction when these imbalances drop in about 10 seconds or so.
All right. NVIDIA fell down, man. We did some damage on it, but we didn't get the very best fill on it. So we'll have to wait. Apple's starting to go back up. We got some more outs on Apple. We're only $1 in. So here come the imbalances. They are now out. We'll get that number from Adara. And here they are right now. We'll see if there's anything for NVIDIA, so on and so forth. It's not really doing too much. We're bidding 673 right now. Enbridge, Intel with a sell there. Marvell with a sell. So I'm not really seeing anything that's too attractive here on that front. So, oh man, that's too bad. We just missed that NVIDIA doozy there. But okay, now it's going back up to the upside. Watch out, 676 comes in. NVIDIA's starting to go back up. At least we made some money back there on the way back down, but that NVIDIA was too bad. All right, so that's about that. NVIDIA still $1 and change in the money. ARM is $1 and change. We can exit this ARM trade now, basically. It's pretty good. It's up here at this size. I think we should probably just get out. We'll just punch. Okay, there it is. So we'll punch out. We'll get some 6, 7s, or 8s. End the ARM with good intentions there. We tried to hold it for a little bit lower, but again, nice move up. We got like 123 and change. So we're just going to hold on to NVIDIA down here near 672. Maybe we get that move down. That's the only one we have. You are right, Chef Joe. This is the most anticipated content of Trader TV Live history tonight. It's market recap. So we're going to hit that up. It's the recap. It's Tammy's in the chat, apparently. What's up, Tammy? We're going to get some fib levels for that. We had Brian Shannon yesterday. It is market recap show where traders will be staying late. So stay late with me, and we'll be there all over these crazy NVIDIA earnings, man. Like I said, the most anticipated show in Trader TV Live history drops tonight. So stay tuned. In just a couple hours, we'll get that. Then I got to run home and, of course, go to hockey practice. So we'll be here for you until 4:30, until that NVIDIA number drops 100%. We've got Tammy here. We're really excited. What's up, Tammy, in the chat? We're going to have a great show. We're going to have the best market recap show of all time. So get ready to go on that one. We're only 7 minutes away. Your boy's feeling good. We're ready to rock and roll. So get ready, man. NVIDIA coming to a show near you.
Crest.
And it will be NVIDIA, Rivian
and Lucid.
And a couple
Do we have
others.
the board? Let me know if we can put the board up, because there are a few other names that we're going to get to in a quick second, because obviously they're going to be coming rapid fire, and 99.999% of people are interested in NVIDIA, but there's some other ones out there. Look, this is, you talk about earnings season being the Super Bowl. When the Fed is moving rates, that's like the Super Bowl. When they're not doing anything, it's boring. But one name stands out above all, and we've talked about NVIDIA, but we keep forgetting about Dutch Brothers. I'm never sleeping on a lower float recent IPO that has a short float like a Dutch Bros. That is a mover. I don't touch that stock. I don't look at that stock until like the 3 days after it reports, and that's it. And then the IPO lockup when it happened. But that should be out there for us to watch. Etsy, I don't really care too much about. And then tomorrow morning, shout out, I think Moderna is going to be pretty volatile. That's been getting absolutely punked recently. I actually have some of that as a short play on my long-term account. That is one of those I'm either losing 40% on it or holding it for like a triple up. But anyways, that's a different kind of play. And then Nikola. I think Nikola is a dog, but it's also a mover. So that's worth watching tomorrow morning. But the big plays for the aftermarket show, NVIDIA, Rivian, Lucid, and do not sleep on Dutch Brothers. I'm out of Apple, took the shot in Apple. The only LFT for me is going to be that Apple trade, and stepped in front of the moving freight train that is this market this afternoon. And took one shot. I canceled my reload on Affirm. I canceled my reload on Intel. Those are good decisions, and played VWAP on Apple and lost. The long on Nike worked out, but that was the only long that I liked. This market is now at the morning highs. Not green, but at the morning highs. Round trip. Remember 30 minutes ago or like 40 minutes ago, I'm like, yeah, the market's looking pretty heavy. Everything's breaking down. This doesn't look very good. The initial reaction to the bond release at 1 o'clock was red. The reaction to the Fed minutes was trending to the downside. And now we're right back breaking out the tops. If that isn't an exciting market for you, then I don't know what is. And Sean just said it's just the beginning, because the big dog is about to wag that tail at, let's just call it 4:05. I don't know exactly when they're going to report, but I don't think they'll be waiting too long to drop that bomb on the market.
So the S&P actually turned green. So the S&P is green. It's the NASDAQ that's red, of course, because of some of these names. We've just been shorting NVIDIA. We just took a decent chunk there on this move back down. Let's wait to see if it does continue to flush. We're short 675. I got to get over to the board at a couple minutes to get ready for the show. But let's just wait to see if NVIDIA does have a little bit of a flush down. We got some out there. We're going to wait again for that dollar at 674.35 in change. But NVIDIA is like giving me like a seizure looking at this level 2 right now. These prices are just flying around here on NVDA. Look at this Rivian short, man. Unbelievable at the beginning of the day. You know, like why to cover? Like, yeah. But anyways, nice downside move there for Rivian. Let's see what's going on. Come on, NVIDIA, man. I don't have all day. I got to go over there and start setting this up. Get to the downside. I'm bidding some 674.30s. Maybe we can get that. Maybe we can't. I don't know. We're short right here at 675.20, literally against 676. So I'm just trying to go like 1-to-1 here, see if we get a flush. We could get the other way, which is fine, and we'll punch out. But if there's a flush here, I want to be here for it. Right now, NVIDIA is looking real strong into the close, obviously, as we've been shorting it. It's been an arm day, not a leg day today, as arm's been great to the short side, and we just covered it at 124. That seems like a mistake, but we'll just keep trading ARM tomorrow. Use more shares on ARM tomorrow. But here we go. You could be a day breaker tomorrow or a day maker, breaker, whatever with NVDA. So
Low party ain't over till 999 NVIDIA.
Yeah, you might be right about that actually. And I hope Lolo is 1,000% right.
Look, we all own it in our long-term account, I'm probably assuming, and if you own the market, you own it too. So we're all kind of hoping that that's what happens. I'm going to say probably not. Just going to throw that one out there, but it doesn't mean I don't want it to happen. But let's remember a couple things. Trade the price action tomorrow. It's going to be absolute madness. Sean will have it for you live. All of the madness that will happen when the release comes in. Do not overrate the first move. Sometimes that matters, sometimes it doesn't. But just try to respect the price action that you see tomorrow. You don't want to come into trading NVIDIA with too much of a, hey, well, it went down, so this is what has to happen at 9:30. It's never that simple, but you know what? We're going to be here for you bright and early tomorrow morning because there's a lot to cover. With only 3 minutes to go, I'm not taking any new positions, just going to cancel. I have one stop order, just going to get rid of that. Locked and loaded, ready to see what happens. I'm going to be adding Marvell to the list because of whatever the heck it just did. But NVIDIA front of the mind here. The imbalances paired off on NCLH, Intel, and everything that had a decent imbalance, all paired off at 355. So there's really nothing to look at except for the overall market in NVIDIA and NVIDIA going in to the close. Someone saying Jay legit who leaked. I don't think if NVIDIA's report was leaked, it would be moving more than bouncing to VWAP.
Ain't nothing leaked.
Yeah, like if it was leaked, you'd have a bigger move than this, and you can tell that. I remember when a firm leaked their report or accidentally reported it early as they framed it, and the stock did like 2x today's range in a matter of minutes. So I doubt it's leaked in this particular case. If it was actually out, the market would be gobbling it up and be moving a little bit more than this. I know it's a big move, but really, like at 12 o'clock, it was at 680, and it's at 675 right now.
Yeah, no, you would see a much.
It would be a bigger move than that.
Move here. So we've just been taking a dollar here. I got to get over to the desk, but you know, I was waiting for a little bit lower here, 673.75. We just got some really good fills down on NVIDIA down here. 674. We're short at 675.30. So we got 40. We got like a 674 flat. I was waiting for 673.50. I still think we could flush back in, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to sacrifice to go over there and just punch out.
I've heard NVIDIA is not till 20 minutes after, according to some people in the chat. I don't know if that's 100% true, but it doesn't make a difference. Like, everyone's going to be on their
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's going to be on their A game, like locked and loaded. I wouldn't be trading it personally. It's gymnastics tonight, and I feel like this is going to be doing some backflips. NVIDIA, no questions about it. I have to note this because I'm a little bit floored that Marvell, it dipped.
All right, well,
it held 65. It's broken the high. The ES wants 5,000. The Marvell wanted green. It got green.
All right.
It wanted the moon. The hold of the 50 period, if I had been watching this stock, maybe there's at least a chance that you could have been on a long like this. But double bottom at the 50 period moving average and actually leading in some ways this charge on the chips. NVIDIA had an impressive move, but this was a strong stock that just got stronger. So we got 30 seconds until the madness. That's the market close. NVIDIA won't be right after the bell, but we are going right after this bell over to the desk to make sure we get all the earnings. You got Rivian, you got Lucid. You're going to get a little bit of Dutch Brothers as well. And then, of course, maybe capped off and led by NVIDIA as we drop the countdown on this, the Super Bowl of earnings in 5, 4, 3, 2, and ring it. And if you like action, then this is what you get. The ES actually closes green, almost 5,000 on the E-minis. The NASDAQ broke the highs to only be down 0.3%. That's after we're staring everything and their mother was at the low of the day. Huge rally to the upside. Hopefully you enjoyed the trading. Try to trade those specific moves. Be really, really patient. Have your ins, have your outs. This market demonstrated that this afternoon, so we're happy to be able to show that to you guys. If you haven't done so already, big shout out to Mark and the team for working on that second stream. If you haven't checked it out, we're working out those bugs and they're working on it tirelessly. You guys asked us for that, so we have that. We have that up for you early before we go on. And then, of course, it's on during the midday and all day long. You can watch our positions there and keep giving us feedback. We love it. Shout out to Fabian and Ramin on the ones and twos all day long, making us look and sound great and fantastic. Shout out to Sharif, as always, and Adara, not just doing the midday. Adara doing a great job up at the desk, dropping some news for us. In Brendan's stead, who, of course, is doing big things, Brennan, with our interviews today. We had a couple of fantastic guests for you. But let's get to the market recap. It's big earnings. It's the Super Bowl. It's NVIDIA. Go get them, Sean.
All right, what's up, everybody? Thank you for staying late with me. We do have NVIDIA earnings on tap. We're getting ready to get locked and loaded. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit all of that. Let's go. We're getting ready to get locked and loaded. We do have the Fibonacci Princess coming through very soon. If you come over to my screen, we're here for you. We're not going anywhere. This is volunteer position, Adara. Volunteer. Okay, we have it up here. I just want to show everybody. This is the bid and the ask for NVIDIA. I'm going to have it up here. So if it hits, my mind should be going right over there pretty much immediately for anything. So we're going to go for that. Right now, UNG with a monster move today. I also have Benzinga ear Newswire in my ear right now. If I hear anything, we're going to have that. We have Rivian on deck. We have Lucid on deck. We have NVIDIA. And now, of course, I hear everything in my ear. So we're going to wait to see that. A nice move up for UNG today, 12.5. Look at FXI. We've really been talking about buying this one off the dip here. It does make a move back through $22 today. Nice move for UNG, holding that 23 area with the 50 period. Nice move to the upside. We've only bought a couple stocks recently. We trimmed some NVIDIA today, 15%. Let's see if that's going to be a good call or not. I hope it's not, and we rip up to the upside with Google being my #1 holding. But we recently bought Alibaba down here at 72 bucks. It's the 50 period moving average. I think there's a good opportunity for Alibaba to go. Right now, NVIDIA, 674 ask, 673 bid. I hope you could see that. We also have NVIDIA up here as well. So you'll see this name starting to move first. There is no other channel that will show you live level 2 to quotes. Live NVIDIA as we speak. You're here with me right now, and I like it. I'm going to hit a bang for everybody right now. We also have roll call going to be coming through at some point today as well. As I'm trying to load up Stream Deck, there it is, bang for everybody that's with your boy right now as we are ready to go with NVIDIA earnings. So that's what that is. Today we had a nice move up for energy. I talked about this on the main show. I feel like energy right now, when, not if, when there is a flip over in from tech over to something else, I think it's going to be energy. Let's close this poll. I want to give a big shout out. We've never had this many people. There's 6,000 of you watching right now. I hope you understand that this is the market recap show hosted by the one and the only Trader TV Live. Make sure you find this right now. We have more Trader TV Live. We have Trader TV Live OG, which is what you're watching right now. This is the best recap show, period. NVIDIA, big day today. Yeah, let's go. Let's just see where we go. We're excited, man. 6,000 watching right now. Shout out to all of you. Thank you so much for that. Here we go. NVIDIA is starting to move. 677 again by 676. I've got Benzinga Newswire in my ear. If anything comes through, we're showing it on here. It's going to be Rivian. It's going to be Lucid. It's going to be all of that. There goes NVIDIA right now, 680. Look what this level 2 looks like. We're starting to blast higher for NVIDIA. Hey, NVIDIA, what's up with 680? We are not out yet. I'm not hearing anything. When we do, there it is, 681. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We've got over 6,500 people watching right now. It's NVIDIA. It's starting to go. Hey, it's 680. It's 681. Thank you so much for all the talk right now, man. Right here, this show, hey, Mr. Ducats, I've never even seen you before. This show is straight fire. The best show on TV easily. That's why we're here. I ain't sitting here for fun. I'm sitting here for everybody else, but it's fun for me. So here we go. Let's find out what's going on with Lucid right now. Lucid with a little bit of a move down, hearing that potentially out, but not seeing anything. So we'll go back. We're not moving off of NVIDIA. We're not moving off of NVIDIA. No. 680 right now. So right now, Lucid, hearing about Lucid being out. So let's go over to Lucid right now. Check them out on a 1-minute chart. It is a move down. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to, I don't want to move NVIDIA a little bit too much here. Maybe I can zoom this out just a little bit for you. Be patient with me. Please just go like that. There we go. All right, there it is. So there's a nice little move down for Lucid. As soon as I have the numbers, I will give them to you. They're not hitting on Benzinga yet. There it is. Do I ever thought of an auctioneer as a side hustle? Yeah, that's what I need as a side hustle. And I got too many of those. But yeah, not an auctioneer, guys. You know what I actually thought would be kind of cool? I thought because it's all about cash, I would want to be one of those when you get married. What are those guys called? Not an usher, efficient. That's it, that's what I want to be. I feel like that's just straight cash, be personable, drop some jokes. I thought that would be really cool. Okay, we're still waiting for that. I do not see Rivian yet. You can see NVIDIA right here, trust. When NVIDIA's coming through, NVIDIA's coming through. What's up to Sam Troy, my guy? There's Sam Troy with the $10, let's go. Thank you so much, but we're not all about, you guys can super chat, and if I see it, that would be fantastic. I'm still not seeing anything for LCID yet coming through, but I do understand that it's out, or at least something's out for Lucid. I don't see it yet. Yeah, I should be a hoodie model. Thank you so much. I appreciate that one as well, my guy. Right there. Okay, you can see NVIDIA 678 in change. You know what? Let me just type into here and type in here Lucid, because I feel like I heard that it was out. But I don't see it on here yet. So we're going to go cancel on that and wait now for Lucid to show up. That could have been a little bit of an early call by me. I'm only talking about what I'm hearing in my ear. So right now, NVIDIA is still 679, Lucid doing some jobs there as well. Let me just zoom this back out so we can see a little bit about what was moving around today as we'll go over some sector watches. What was the worst sector today, you might ask? Good question. It was TAN. TAN, not good, man, down 2.3% today. As again, if we're going to still talk about rates being an issue, we did hear a pushback at least to June today from one of those Fed speak. Let's wait to see what happens with TAN. Looks like it's tending to go to the low side right now as Solar Edge, SCDG, not a great report from last night for Solar Edge. I still don't see anything on Lucid. Maybe you guys can confirm it in the chat if it's ever there. You guys want to have some more water? Let's have some more water. Are we ready to have some hydration, nation? Let's go. Bang, right there. Let's go, man. We're locked and loaded right now. Lucid, I'm still not seeing it out. We're still waiting for Lucid. If anybody has it, let me just check the chat right now. Lucid is out apparently, okay, on Thinkorswim. I don't see it yet, so we'll wait for that until it comes out. Etsy is now out, though. Etsy is out. So let's go over and see what Etsy is doing right here. Looks like it's kind of a beat on revenue on Etsy, I'm hearing, and on the top and the bottom line for Etsy. Doesn't seem to want to be moving. Man, that PANW yesterday. Uh-oh, everyone gonna likey now as Rivian starting to go back up to the upside. Shout out to my guy Brendan over there who's made a call on Rivian. Let's see if it starts to go to the upside. Here it is. Brendan, nice move here. 1620 coming through for Rivian. Nice move upside for Rivian. Again, I apologize. I'm using the Benzinga software. I don't see Rivian out yet. I don't see Lucid out yet. Brendan, if you see anything, just hit me up in my chat as well. I'm not seeing that. So right now, Lucid, I'm guessing, is not out. It was up and down and around. This is a 1 minute chart. We don't see anything yet for Lucid. The NASDAQ, what goes up must come down, right? Well, the NASDAQ battled back beautifully at the end of the day. Thanks, NVIDIA. We gave back some today as we continue to short NVIDIA into the number. But you can see we have live NVIDIA right here. This is a live level 2 print of NVIDIA. So you can see the market's moving around. We are down 2.2% right now. Rivian, I was mentioning, should have stepped in and bought some Rivian. But again, not seeing the numbers for Rivian. So I'm going to say we ain't out yet, baby. And when we do come out, I will have it for you. We also have Tammy coming through, the princess of Fibonacci's. Not bad. Oh, there's Rivian. Uh-oh, Rivian downside. Rivian is a downside push. So all of a sudden, I don't feel so bad about missing this trade, but let's see. There's Rivian downside right now. I told you guys, 14, now we're not going to miss anything. Here's Rivian. It's starting to get cranked. I type in LCID. RIVN with a nice little downside move into 1430. Don't have the numbers yet, but it's Rivian and it's out and it's a nightmare. It's down to 14 right now. Rivian's down 11%. Don't wake up if you own Rivian or PANW. You may not like this. Right now, we're going to find out these numbers immediately. Lucid is also out. So let's go over and look at Lucid right now, down to 366. Lucid's number, Q4 revenue, 157 versus 178. It's a miss on LCID to the downside. Lucid Q4 EBITDA, lost 600 million versus 660, so a little bit better there. Q4 loss per share, 29 cents. Rivian sees, oh no, this is not what you want to hear from Rivian. Rivian is seeing FY production, 57,000 units. Apologize, I almost threw up there. That's not a good number, man. 57,000 units. I don't think that's a good number, but maybe it is. Oh no, Rivian downside. Rivian right now, Q4 beat, 132 versus 125. That's nice. They only delivered in the quarter 13,972. Rivian is getting destroyed down to the downside right now. Rivian down 15%. They see adjusted EBITDA. I don't have that number, but it ain't good right now for Rivian. Thanks, Brendo, for some of those highlights right now. Are you seeing it on Benzinga, Brendo, or are you getting this from somewhere else? Because I don't see it on our Benzinga thing yet. As soon as we have it, we will have it to you. But right there, it's 1350, and we are cranking lower right now for NVIDIA. We'll slap a fail on that one. Wow, Rivian getting pumped. What exactly is LCID doing right now to the downside? I'm starting to not feel so good about Rivian, Rivian I'm not feeling good about, that's for sure. I'm not so feeling good now about NVIDIA. Okay, NVIDIA's getting hit a little bit. We saw a high of about, what, 690 or so in the after hours. Hold on a second, let me just call that up. Oh man, Rivian 57,000 is a cut from 80,000. So Rivian, we talked about that with, so right now NVIDIA's not, I'm just gonna keep NVIDIA here and look at Rivian right now. So Rivian's numbers, unfortunately, guys, expecting a production side of 80,000. I like that. Is that a toque there, Adara? I like that. I like those headbands. Rivian today, Expected production targets of 80, they just dropped 57 on everybody's head. And Rivian is getting destroyed right now, back down to the downside. You want to talk about a name that's got destroyed a little bit? I got filled, I think, 272 or something like that off the open for PANW. We talked about wanting to buy some more. Come over to this nasty stock right now. This is what can happen to you. 28%, a beloved name in the right space. Great quarter, beat top and bottom line on PANW. We're talking about Palo Alto. But they guide a little lower. They get annihilated. Over 40 billion, I believe, in market damage done to PANW. They miss by 200 million. They missed by 200 million on their guide. They could still hit it, but they guide 200 million lower than expected. They get hit I think it was 30 billion on market cap today for PANW. Well, here, I'll just do the math myself. Right here, PANW's current market cap after today is 82 billion. So yeah, they were up in and around 100 and 10 or so billion. Chop off $30 billion from a slight miss for PANW. Ooh-wee, wow, all right. That's Rivian. That's everything. I'll see everybody tomorrow. All right, see you guys. I hope you guys had a great day. Now we're waiting for NVIDIA, and if we're ready, we're gonna call Tammy because we got a little bit of a slow spot right now. Are we ready? Then she's coming on right now. Oh man, what a day to talk to a princess, and it's the Fibonacci princess, and it's Tammy. Wow, what a wild day it was here today. Did you trade at all today, Tammy?
I did not trade at all today. My oldest daughter got her braces off, so
Ooh.
I had to go. I worked about half a day, and then I had to go, with her to get her braces off.
Go to the orthodontist. My daughter was lucky enough to only wear hers for about 9 months. We got them pretty early. She put them
That
on
was Brinkley too.
Yeah, I got them on like 8.5, got them off at 9, and she just took them off. And smile looking nice. Right, I'm in the wrong business. I need to be an orthodontist. I'm going to just, to be honest with you, that's a great little business right there. Okay, a little bit of a nasty move down there for Rivian. Something that honestly I wasn't expecting to have this fall into 13. Can we talk a little bit about some Fibonacci's? Because again, you're here. So the Fibonacci princess is here. Can we go over to your screen? Do you have Rivian set up at all?
I do not have Rivian, but I'm happy to look at it. It'll just take me a second.
Okay.
Not a big deal.
Go ahead.
Easy peasy.
Your screen, there we go. We have Rivian up right now. So what you're seeing is I know you don't have aftermarket data, but you know what? Come over to my screen right now. I'll let you load it up because you actually had NVIDIA up there. We can talk about NVIDIA in a couple minutes as well. Load it up, see what happens there. If you get NVIDIA back, all good. Come over to my screen really quickly here, guys. They keep on making some downside pushes here for Rivian. So Rivian, 1340 and change. If you can go back, that bottom for me looks like 12 there on Rivian. Not sure exactly how bad these numbers are going to be, but for right now, I'm getting them from Brendan. Rivian right now, Q4, minus 136 versus minus 139 right now for Rivian. So a little bit of a better Q4 number. It looks like it's going to be the guide. Rivian right now guiding forward 24 vehicle production at only 57,000. Look, we know there's demand for Rivian, but they were expecting to get to the 80,000 mark, right? If you can only produce $57,000 units, that's going to be a problem, especially when you're losing money on each and every car that you sell. More to come on that, right? So that's not going to be good right now. They also adjusted EBITDA minus 2.7 billion. Yuck, man. They're going to go through some serious cash burn. All right. Are we ready, Tammy?
I'm ready. I'm ready whenever you are.
All right. Well, then I'm here for you. So let's go back over to the screens. Let's talk about some levels for Rivian.
So, well, let me tell you this real quick, because here's the thing. Even though you're looking at the the aftermarket data, where we open tomorrow is what's really going to matter. Okay, so I know it's right around 13 right now, but I will tell you, I've got a couple of pieces of symmetry, which those are previous swings in the market. These are swings that we've already seen that I am comparing from that high from the 26th of December. Okay, so let's see. I don't remember exactly which two it was. Maybe that one. No, It was one of these. It was this swing, one of these swings over here, and then it was one way over here to the left. They both came out to $14.21. So if we open tomorrow and we hold that, I really do like that level. But if not, what I'm seeing right now is right around that $12.54 and $12.65 is what I'm seeing just with some quick work that I'm doing right now.
Okay, because Tammy, right now, yeah, Rivian is down to 13 even right now and really starting to get lower. So we'll see if we can do and hold that. Does it take you a minute to load up NVIDIA because we only have 2 minutes? All right, so let's call up NVIDIA and go over to your screen because I see that you have it. Let's go over immediately because, Tammy, I do apologize if it comes out in the next couple minutes. We're going to flip over, but let's go to your charts quickly.
No worries. I want to know too.
All right, so here we go. Go discuss some levels we're looking at here for NVIDIA.
Well, so what we say, with our work is that, I mean, as many of you know, I am the protege for the Fibonacci Queen, who is on Jim Cramer. That's why I'm the Fibonacci Princess. And it's Queen of Fibs now.
1 minute. Yep.
But what she says is earnings are a crapshoot. And what we mean by that is it's more of a gamble. We don't want you to go into earnings thinking that our support or our resistance can hold. What our work is great for is after earnings, finding a place to buy. So right now, what you see in front of you, I have a daily chart that I've got levels all the way down to 639. But I did go ahead and pull up a weekly chart just in case we get a really big flush.
Okay.
With the daily chart, I can only go back to some of these bigger swings back here. But then when I go to a weekly chart, of course, I get a lot more data and I'm able to go, a lot further back and see some much bigger swings. Oh, that's PANW, I'm sorry. Much bigger swings back here.
Okay.
So on the daily, I was only able to see this, this area to the left here. If I go on a weekly, then I'm able to see, this data. Let's see, that high is from the 2021, November of 2021 to the low of October 2022. So it gives me a lot more data if I can go up to a higher time frame, obviously.
Yeah.
So on this, I've got support all the way down to 507. I know that seems pretty extreme, but I don't know. I'm looking for a big flush here.
Yep, same.
I really do think we could get a big flush in NVIDIA. It's just,
He'll have it.
Been just baked in so much, I think, already. So, but we'll see.
Okay.
Be wrong.
Thank you so much, Tammy. Right now, we are getting a move on NVIDIA. NVIDIA up to 690 right now. We're going to get the release for you ASAP. Looks like Rivian is starting to go back up to the upside right now. 680, 685. Nice move. We had that high right there of 692. I'm still, no. You just keep that on. Do not do anything. Yeah, I need the screen right now. If I am going to go back to you. Tammy, still, please hold out on that one. NVIDIA right now, EPS beat 516, beating 464. 516 earnings per share for NVIDIA right now, beating 464. Sales of 22.1 billion, beating 20 billion. So are we having a PANW moment? As right now, there it goes. NVIDIA is tank city right now. They beat on the top and on the bottom, but where is that guide? Where is the guide? NVIDIA is a downside move. All that I'm seeing are the numbers right now, but it is cranking 660. Damn you, NVIDIA, man, I had all these shorts. How are you rinsing me? There it is, 657. NVIDIA is starting to go down. There it is right now. I have the number. It's NVIDIA Q5 revenue. Whoa, that's the wrong one. Where is it? It's right here. Q1 25 revenue, 24 billion, plus or minus 2% versus 22.6. That actually looks fine. That's a guide higher than expected. Why is NVIDIA falling? Down with NVIDIA. 650, 653 right now. NVIDIA making that move down into 650, 653. NVIDIA results right now. 22.1 billion. Things are moving fast over here, guys, right now for me. So 22.1 billion year over year. Good beat on that one. Data center revenue, gaming revenues up. Everything looks fine, but it is a downside move right now for NVIDIA. Here it is. I have the gap number. They see gap 2025, 3.5 billion, sees non-gap 2.5 billion. I guess the street not liking some of this guidance as NVIDIA is trying to hold 650. So Tammy, we're holding 650 right now. I don't know how to get this off this screen anymore, so you can come over here again. But there it is, Tammy. We're holding 650 on NVIDIA. Just a quick look, it doesn't seem disastrous. We're only getting a move right now of 6.5%. So Tammy, what say you about this NVIDIA take right now? Looks like it is dropping into some of those support levels in and around 650.
Yeah, I mean, there again, you know what it does overnight. I don't look at overnight data, so it's possible if we did get a little bounce here, we could hold the zone we're currently in right now, which is 656 to 662. If we don't, the next symmetry I have is 645 on the daily.
Okay.
But let's look and see what I have on the weekly. Yeah, I mean, I've got something right around 640 on the weekly also. So I'm saying 640, 650 is my prediction at this point, but we need to see what happens when we open up in the morning, because we could go to a lower time frame and run into some overhead resistance and make a deeper downside correction. So, I want you to be cautious tomorrow if you decide to get bullish on NVIDIA. That's one of the things that's great about my work is that I actually show live charts.
Right.
So that you know the uphill battle that you're up against. I don't know if you had a chance to see in chat earlier. I know you were super busy. That I gave a short zone 677 to 82 on the 30-minute chart.
Okay, well, we're coming right back up. We just talked about Tammy, great calls there. I wasn't able to see everything in the chart, but you just talked about a 645 or so area. We held that like genius down there. And if you're watching the show, guys, honestly, this is why we have that live level 2. I had it up there. What did I say? I said there's 650s holding, there's some kind of reserve bid, and there it is, man. It's a $27 winner off of that level. As NVIDIA is saying, hold my beer. NVIDIA all the way back, 680. NVIDIA is mooning. Nah, it's not really mooning, but it's a nice move. We just made a move back up $30 for NVIDIA. I got to say thank you to everybody who's watching right now. Over 6,600 people watching. This is a record for us. There goes NVIDIA. NVIDIA is saying, okay, come again to that one. 688. Nice upside move for NVIDIA. Let's check out some of its friends. SMCI with a tank back into 700. Look where SMCI held. They held 700 clean. Now at 733. This is the stuff. If you're joining me for the first time, I do this all day long. The show starts at 8:30. We live trade. I had like 500 trades today. So, if you're looking for trades, you're looking for live level 2s, you're looking for all of this, it's at Trader TV Live, at Trader TV Sean for this and many other tweets. What's going on with AMD 164? AMD makes the move down into 160 as well, and that's dancing around. So, hey, look, there's only a few traders staying here right now, but you guys are staying late, and I got to say thank you so much for that one as well. It's NVIDIA, it's 680. Let's go check on, unfortunately, oh no, this one is a fail. It's Rivian, and they are getting clocked right now, man. Clockwork orange happening to Rivian as we get down below 13 and dip into some of those levels that we've talked about a little bit before. I'm gonna take a sip. Tammy, save me. What else do you want to talk about? We're not even exhausted. We've got a nice little hoodie on. I think we're looking pretty good. We're pretty fly right now. But let's go. What else you want to look at? Anything you want to talk about? I got to let you go in a couple minutes. 6,600 people, Tammy. Pretty exciting stuff. We're also on X right now as well.
I have to say, please come to Twitter and follow me at TraderTammy1. I help you define your risk. Everybody wants to find risk, right? I say if it goes past here, get out. GTFO.
I love that.
Out.
I consider myself a risk
manager. That's what that means, I'm sure.
Tammy, you're preaching to the choir, man. Our crowd knows what's good. We are risk managers around here. So if you want to get some more risk management, go find at TraderTammy1. What's the weather like down south there in Georgia?
Well, it's actually really cold today, what I consider really cold. It was like 40 this morning, and this afternoon, it's actually really nice right now. It was 68 earlier. Pretty big temperature jump during the day. So I heard you mention AMD. I do have AMD.
Okay, you want to talk about that quickly? I'll give you a minute.
Yeah, AMD, I've got levels all the way down to about that 150 area right here on the AMD. So you said it was somewhere around 160 area. So I do have price support anywhere from 151 to about 160 if this holds.
Perfect.
For tomorrow.
Tammy, thank you so much. Stay in the chat. If anybody wants to ask you questions, will you be in the chat for a couple minutes?
Sure, I can do that. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much, Tammy. Thank you for your time on this very busy and record-setting day here at Trader TV Live. Thank you so much. That's your Fibonacci Princess at Trader Tammy. Ciao.
Thank you for having.
No problem. Once you're part of the family, it's never a problem. All right, so here we go. Trader Tammy is in the family right now. But hey, if you are an NVIDIA family member, then you're wondering, wow, we're back to 7 bills, baby. There goes NVIDIA. It's a nice move back up as here we go right now. Why is this showing this? We'll have to maybe refresh. Let me refresh this chart because NVIDIA is off. There it is right now, 695, starting to go back up. Taking out names is NVIDIA. Yes, sir. Hallelujah. As we go big time on NVIDIA. Let's check out our other friends. There goes NVIDIA. Ciao to 700, maybe as NVIDIA going upside right now. It looks like we're going to get good moves all around there from NVIDIA. So a nice day there. Benzinga here, we can just sort of look. Let me just go over NVIDIA, see if we can get some highlights for you. Sees Q1 gap, gross margin 76%. That's good. 76% gross margin. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Nice little. When you have such a high margin like that, it allows you to kill the competition. So that's important. See Tesla for that. You can drop your prices and still make a crap ton of money. They're seeing up 409% data revenues. They are seeing up 4% automotive revenue. What a surprise. What if automotives turn around? Maybe that's another thing for NVIDIA. Data sales to China declined. Data sales to China declined. Interesting. Let's pay attention to Chinese names tomorrow. Look at NVIDIA, guys. Oh, wow. NVIDIA is going to the upside, baby. This is what we're talking about. It's an NVIDIA kind of day as NVIDIA says, hey, here's my beer, hold it. Up to 712. Sure, we were down here at 650, and what were we showing you? We were showing you buys. It could not break 650. Boom to the upside. It is 713. It's a bang up kind of a day there for NVIDIA. Wow, I did want to check back in. Yes, fine. That's great, man. This is great news for everybody that is long various names. Let's go over Google. Yes, sir, Google. Yes, sir. Get up to the upside. That's a nice move for Google. What's going on with NVIDIA and AMD? Let's go. Here we come to save the day. It's NVIDIA saving your portfolio today because it's a nice upside move. What is going on with SMH right now as well? SMH ripping over 2 bills again. SMH goes down to 193, blast off. So we've given you a couple numbers there for NVIDIA. They all look really healthy and they all look really good. NVIDIA what? Now 723. NVIDIA Rip City right now. Shout out to Portland. SMCI. Oh my, SMCI goes 100, bottom to top, baby. SMCI hit $700 on that early report. Our charts are cut off now. Past 430, our charts cut off. So SMCI up to 780. Look how crazy this looks. If you guys were doomsday, well, today you're gonna have to wait for said doom because today, as they say, my friend Ice Cube, where's Ice Cube at, man? We got to get this guy on the show. If Ja Rule can pump Bitcoin, we can get Ice Cube on the show because today, for NVIDIA shareholders, take a little bit of a breather. It's a saving grace. If you were long, you got saved. NVIDIA beats, they guide higher, and it's a party on Wall Street today. As SMCI taking back over 800, there's NVIDIA taking out 715 and still going higher. NVIDIA touches 650, blast upside $65. What a time in the market. We're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow. Wow. If you want to go over my tweets, go over my tweets, man. At Trader TV Sean. That was a super fun day. I want to thank everybody for watching. We do this every day. every day. We have the best guests on. We have real traders, Brian Shannon. We have Michael Noss. We have the Crypto Burb. Let's get the Crypto Burb back on and talk about what's going on with crypto as well. How does that sound? We'll do that for you ASAP. Chris Bretcher. It's Miss Danielle Shea. There goes NVIDIA now through 720 and taking out day's high right now for NVIDIA. SMCI, by the way, 815 for SMCI, 720 for NVIDIA. I love all of you, which means we're not going anywhere until we do this. Often imitated or duplicated. Either way, this is the original roll call. So let's go. If you're here with me right now, I got to give a big thank you. We're sitting here. It's me. It's Ramin. We're running the show right now. Thank you to everybody. 5,500. Guess what? It's roll call. Show some love to your boy in roll call. What's up? The shorts are going insane, Finch Jane. The shorts got to cover somewhere today. All right, roll call. What's up to Bears versus Bulls? What's up to Finch Jane? Yo, Emma Fernandez, we love you as well. What's up to Oscar? Let's go to everybody. What's up? 8K Day, congratulations. What's up to Zach Griffith? Man, we're moving fast. Wave to everybody. What's up to Jen? What's up to Oscar? What's up to Angelica? What's up to Chef Joe? My passion is ridiculous. And we're just starting, baby. Hey, look, we've been here for 3 or 4 years. I ain't going anywhere, man. Get the defibrillator right here. What's up to Gatekeeper? What's up to Morgan Brown? What's up to Skyhawk? What's up to everybody? Mike Breeze, Alex Fisherman, everybody that's here with us. I can't do it without you. But a big shout out to Brendo, got me those numbers. A big shout out to Adara for all her help today. A big shout out to Ramin and to Fabia, to Tammy, the Fibonacci Princess. Shout out to you as well. Man, we're getting ready to rock and roll. We're just getting started. It's Trader TV Live. Find me back here, voice or not, tomorrow at 8:30. If you can't stand me, I'm just getting started. We'll be back every single day with the market recap show, except Friday, where we film the podcast, and we have tons of fun doing that as well. Thank you so much to everybody. This is Trader TV Live. This is what we're doing. Thank you so much. The passion is real. I'll see you tomorrow at 8:30. I'm coming home, Marissa. I love you.